You know something? I've never listened that far into that song before. I didn't know
Kind
that
of
it gets
majestic.
cool.
I was
Yeah, it got
wondering if
kind of epic.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
wondering if you'd
so
play it all the way through, or if you'd chicken out and click off it because it goes on for a bit, but it's the
I'm saving it for
gravitas.
later. I want to
Okay.
know the mystery now of that great song. I didn't realize that's my new favorite song.
yeah, I
It
kind of
goes
like
on.
it.
I obviously chose the most epic part for the funeral. Yet another Creator Block funeral.
Yeah, yeah, we're just martyring left and right, or
Yes. So
all kinds
Phill,
of another
Phill
man
couldn't.
has fallen.
He couldn't join us. We do hear that arrangements were made. Who knows if he's strewn across a road, or just somewhere in a ditch, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, we have no
God bless
idea.
Phill.
No idea what happened.
Well, except this time we actually do have no idea.
Yeah, don't actually know where he is. But yes, it was a good run. Phil's a good friend. I still blame it on him though. Even his
It's his
demise.
fault.
Blame
It's his
blame
own
Phil
fault.
Diaz.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Blame Phill for his own
blame
death.
Phil for his demise.
I blame Phill for my gout, which I currently do actually have. I know people were joking in the chat. I drank a Starbucks prepackaged instant coffee a day ago, and holy shit, it's even swollen red. The perfect start to a stream is talking about a medical issue.
Why
So yeah,
why did you drink a whole fucking can of pre-packed Starbucks
I
coffee?
thought
Maybe
it would
you
be
shouldn't do.
okay. I thought it would
Okay.
be okay. I thought it would
Famous
be
last
okay.
words. I feel like you say that a lot.
Yeah, I do. You got to take risks in life. If it's like it's part of being a man is taking risks, even
You know what?
retarded
Yeah,
ones.
I think I sometimes wonder if,
Okay.
yeah, like if pushing it could actually make it better somehow, even though that logic doesn't always work. You're
No,
like,
that's the
oh,
logic I'm using.
yeah,
That's the
I pushed it and I got gout, but I didn't push it hard enough because my body needs to get used to this, and
Well,
then it will respond.
I have 2 more in the fridge, so I obviously thought I would get away with at least one.
Well,
I'm
I'm
not gonna
sorry
drink
that you
them.
didn't rip your toes, I guess.
Yeah, all right, Pitbull. All right.
Vaughn, Phil Diaz is the reason I get confident in the name Lord Lightning. This is like a thing you would actually say at Phil's funeral. You'd go up, because that's true, because Phil was
You
drunk.
would say that.
Yeah, because he was the only guy to say it was good, and that's why Vaughn decided to go with it. But then Phil did backtrack on that later. But it was too late. The roots had set in, and now Lord
Yeah,
Lightning
he
it is.
was serious about it too, because I also okayed the name Lord Lightning, and I did it ironically. I thought it was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, yeah. Then maybe Phil, maybe not. By the way, Vaughn will be on later for the second half. Everyone, we're gonna look a little bit at his campaign and everything.
And we're
Hang out a
really
bit.
excited.
I do have a presentation ready too. It's not exactly what do you call it, slides, which maybe it should have been, but
What is it then? Have you drawn it on paper? You're gonna hold it up at the screen?
this one is like a bullet points list.
Okay.
Oh, nice. As long as there's something, because you did take over the week because I was too busy, so I appreciate it. Did you tweet out? Did somebody tweet out the stream, or shall I do it?
You can do it. You can
it.
do
Okay.
the heavy lifting right here.
I will. I shall.
I kind of
Cool,
don't want
work.
to. Speaking of Lord Lightning, seeing as Vaughn's going to be on here today, there is another character name that I'm very surprised got through the net. What is the name of his villain?
Dark
I don't
Cloud.
know. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
So his villain is called Fart Cloud.
it's Dark Cloud.
Okay. Well, I
Oh.
guess I misheard.
Yeah.
Why
Dark
do you
Cloud's
think
cool.
it would actually be Fart Cloud? What?
It just sounds
you
like Fart
actually-
Cloud. It sounds like if you were facing that villain, that would be what you called him to take the piss out of him.
No, actually, Dark
God.
Cloud is great though. But Fart Cloud, no, you're just deliberately mishearing to take the piss.
Yeah. How does that sound like Fart Cloud. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That if I was facing someone called Dark Cloud, I would look him square in the face and say, "Fart Cloud," and then he'd kill me probably.
Yeah, that's
You
you.
know,
Not
that's
everything is like you.
that's something your boy Zach roasts the chat in his videos because a lot of his comments are people being like, "I thought earlier that you said this instead of this, and it was so funny," and he's always like, "I didn't say that though. Why is it funny? It's just that you misheard it. That's not a joke. That's stupid. That's you not being able to hear."
It's my own retardation. Okay,
As
Dark
long as
Cloud
you
it
realize.
is.
As long as you realize. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, Phenomenova is live now on Fun My Comic. Everybody go check it out. I have a cover on it. I did a cover. So everyone go.
It's doing really
go check out
well.
their back line.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lauren.
Thank you. I'm gonna take credit for the whole thing.
And I have one update for you guys. Is last night the Mavericks played the Clippers game 5, and I told Rini a little bit of this, but I have a little update. So Luka Doncic, who's their best player for the Mavericks, he had played not so great for 4 games straight, and everyone's like, "When's he gonna play good? He's their best player." And so he's warming up, and I saw that he had cut his hair, so the sides of his head were shaved all the way to the skin, like a fade, you know? I was like, oh shit, he got a fresh fade. I'm like, dude, that is like a thing. That's like a fresh start. He's going to play great tonight. So I text my dad, I'm like, 40 points for Luka Doncic. And then he scored 35. So I was close, but I'm not a witch. If he scored 40, I would be a witch at that point. I'd be able to like cast spells and stuff. But the Mavericks won. So they're up 3-2, so they're probably going to advance. So I'm that much closer to winning $3,000 because of a crazy bet I made betting on Luka and Kyrie.
I thought it was going to be pretty soon, but you said last night that you still had like 20 games to go. So
Yeah, if they beat, so they play tomorrow night too. Then if they win that one, then they advance, and they advance to the conference semifinals, then the conference finals, then the finals. So yeah, there's 3 more teams they have to beat in 7-game series. But yeah, Paulus Art says Narwhal is a witch. Paulus, I'll send you the link at the halftime point too if you want. If you feel like hanging a bit.
Wouldn't you be a warlock as a guy? Isn't that what a male witch is a warlock?
No, in Pathfinder you can be it's regardless of gender.
Because the whole world works in Pathfinder rules.
A male
Yeah,
witch.
yes, of course it does.
I'm talking about the real world.
that
The
fits
real world is
into
Pathfinder.
yeah. A male witch is called a Mitch. You guys ever heard that?
Just now, yeah, and I instantly believe it.
Yeah. No.
That
This
sounds like
is part of the
bullshit.
presentation. This is so much part of the presentation. A little bit is like suspension of disbelief is tied to a little bit to like persuasion, and persuasion is interesting too.
So
Yeah, I'm looking
Gaslighting.
forward to this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, gaslighting. Wait, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
No,
gaslighting
that's something
sort of
is happening,
fits.
but you're telling them that's not what's actually happening.
Yeah.
That's
It's
just
like-
being an asshole.
Yeah,
No.
it's not exactly. The one that kind of fits is lampshading, is a little bit tied in with suspension of disbelief. Because it's tied in with persuasion. It's a form of, it's like social proof. You have someone in the, like, it's like if one guy goes like, you know, like, so you could have in a movie someone being like, I heard that NASA actually, you know, is doing some underground testing, and someone else in the same story is like, yeah, I heard that too, and that's kind of like lampshading, and that'll get the audience to really believe it.
Well, isn't lampshading you failing at suspending disbelief and you realize there's a plot
Yeah.
hole, but then you say there's a plot hole, so it's like if I say this is a shit plot hole, then
Yeah, lampshading is like
You can't criticize
it's like anti-suspension of disbelief. Yeah, it is like
Yeah,
I
it's
failed,
terrible.
but I know I failed, so you can't criticize me for it.
in comedy it can work, but like it's just, there's limits.
You got to use it sparingly. But yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose suspension of disbelief is you're just making something that wouldn't possibly be able to happen, but you make people believe in it in a story, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should throw up the bullet point list.
Yeah, let's take a
Um,
look. Let's start talking about it. And I did
What
tweet
the
out the stream, so there you go, everybody.
for purposes of this discussion, I'm suspension of disbelief. It's almost like a tangible thing, or it's almost like an object. It's like a token that the audience hands you, and they can take it back if you don't play your cards right.
Okay.
Well, you can break immersion if you can have an immersion breaking moment,
Yeah,
and then you
and
rescind.
we can ask the chat questions too, and you guys, 41 people watching. Everyone, thanks everyone for being here. But
Hello.
yeah, and we still the mystery of Phill is yet to be solved. He's around somewhere.
He said he was showering. I didn't think he'd be showering for this long.
No, he's not. We have no idea where he is.
Maybe
It's
he
a
took
giant
a
mystery.
yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
took
he's
a long. Yeah, I don't
a
know.
long walk off a short pier with wearing cement boots.
Phill, stay away from the light, Phill.
Come back to us, Phil. It's okay.
No. The last time I saw him, a dark car drove up and dragged him in, and we have no idea where he's been since.
There's a
Very
big
lamentable.
black van full of guys in complete black pulling him in. Never seen again.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's his own fault.
So I feel like suspension of disbelief is one of the more enjoyable things about being an audience member, but I don't know how much of it is like conscious or not conscious. And sometimes when you think back to like, and we'll get into it, but if you're a kid, it's also kind of part of the most fun. It's kind of tied with fantasy, and a lot of stories would be a form of fantasy. Like with the thing like a kid might like the most is like a power fantasy, like Dragon Ball Z, or Harry Potter is a little bit like that, where you get whisked away and then you're the chosen one. Ninja Turtles is like a little bit like that, even though it's not specifically you, it still feels like a really fun fantasy that kids kind of want to fantasize about.
Speaking of the turtles, like I think CGI really ruins the suspension of disbelief because you instantly feel like you're looking at like a cartoon, like character on screen. Like my mom loves watching CGI monster films, and I'm like, Mom, we're just watching fucking cartoons. This is like a cartoon, non-believable monster that's just like jumping around in a computer. But the Turtles movie, having them as actual latex masks, that's believable. Like the giant T-Rex, the giant animatronic T-Rex head they had in Jurassic Park, believable.
I think, I agree with you totally. Like the thing too is like the Muppets is like that. Like the Muppets is a great, like Sesame Street is a great suspension of disbelief show, and it's because they're real. And yeah, but to suspend disbelief there is kind of funny. You have to believe that this like puppet can talk basically, but you don't think about it. It's pretty easy, and you definitely like enjoy it. You're like, oh, a talking puppet? Fuck it, yeah, let's do this. Like, imagine if someone was like, a talking puppet? Those don't exist. Like that would be.
That's Yeah, this ties into the idea of, so you guys know the argument of, for example, why shouldn't lore be changed in Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power, and why shouldn't something that's been established be twisted or like be switched around for a new adaptation? That argument that has been going on for a while for many different series and adaptations and all that. And I think that ties into this subject because it's the difference between in-world believability and consistency and real, like the how I can't remember the fucking word, so I'm not very good at
verisimilitude.
I wish I remember the actual word.
Is that the word you're looking for?
Oh no, you're the big word person today. Yes, that's the word. Verisimilitude. Oh. Verisimilitude and belief are not the same thing. So the difference is you've established the rules for this world, and that world has a feel and a set of functions that everybody within the world and all the occurrences are revolved around that set of rules. So that's the inward believability, that's verisimilitude. But that's different than, well, in what we see in the real world. Like, we know that, for example, elves and dwarves don't exist, but because you've already established in this world that elves and dwarves exist and certain other things, you can't just decide that in this new adaptation dwarves fly or some shit just because, you know, the argument,
Yeah.
it's fantasy, you have dwarves, why is it so hard for you to believe that, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
we changed this character's gender or something. So
Yeah,
that's the difference.
and that's like what the Star Wars sequels did. They broke the verisimilitude with a lot of the BS they were pulling with the Force and
Right.
Rey getting way too powerful, way too fast, and
Right.
stuff
It's all
like
it's
that.
like immersion and believability and immersion. These are different things. You can also call it immersion, right?
Yeah, cool. Yes, and that might come up more later. I like the ways this dovetails into other things that are, because it's funny. It's just suspension of disbelief. I feel like we all kind of take it for granted, but it's definitely something that you could dig into a little bit. But so one of the questions I wanted to ask is, I don't know if this is like philosophical even, but it's how come a geologist can enjoy a movie about hollow Earth? And is this even true, this statement? But I kind of imagine this is. I can totally see that.
I'm sure, yeah, because the world of the story has its own rules. So the story, we're all aware when we're reading a work of fiction that this is not the real world. This is a work of fiction, so you're departing yourself from that. So you establish the rules, and all that matters is once the reader is in that fictional world, you don't break those rules within. Otherwise, you're going to piss people off. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's this ties in. Oh, I see you have like religion in it, but yeah, it does tie into religion, religious stories.
Yeah. Well, that's another one. So this is an example. I know people who won't watch like whatever, like I don't know what's a movie that involves heaven and hell, like Constantine or something, and they won't watch that Keanu Reeves movie. They won't watch it because they don't like heaven and hell because they're so atheist. They just get triggered, and that's on
Really?
them. Yeah, but I'm like, so that is something. It's like religion and politics can be like this too. Will f
Mm-hmm.
with people, and it will take them out of. They will not give you the suspension of disbelief token, because I think I judge them slightly. I feel like atheists vex me. Of this type of atheist vexes me a little bit, and
Have
it's
you
funny because it's my dad, my brother, and my best friend are all like this. But
have you
Well, I think that's
seen that? Doesn't matter. I've got an atheist meme. I'll bring it up. Carry on.
there's also are those is that really atheism though? I don't know. I don't want to get too into it, but I think that's also approaching a belief in to a religious level, and that's the same with politics. If it doesn't matter if it's traditional religion or somebody treating atheism like a religion, you know what I mean, which is what we're addressing right now, or people treating their politics like a religion. If you're just unable to separate yourself from that belief and enjoy a piece of media, it doesn't matter what that set of ideas you lash onto are. Sometimes people
Well,
just get so hooked on, you know, a
it's
preconception. You can't even suspend your disbelief, or you're so afraid of your belief being shattered in any way, even if it's just fantasy. Oh no, yeah,
no, it's
that's
if they
yeah,
if
do that
they've
all the time.
tied if they've tied like a model in with their entire being, then having that model represented differently, it's like it questions them as an entity. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
like
and that fits politics and religion can be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you could. There, like if you play every suspension of disbelief trick in the book, you could kind of finagle them to enjoy your story. Which we'll try and think of some of those because that's when it kind of plays into persuasion, which is a little interesting. I saw CJ. He said, "Is like his suspension of disbelief when I thought the Force was possible, or that my car could turn into an Autobot." I thought that shit when I was a kid too. Did you guys ever think like non-real
oh,
things when you're a kid?
I thought you could make flubber. I remember getting like glue and perfume and trying to mix it together in like a metal container that was used for holding like Chubba Chup pops, and like
Yeah,
thinking I'm gonna make flubber, and I was imagining it's gonna become real, and I was getting so excited as a kid this flubber was gonna jump around the room, but no, it never happened. Didn't
yeah,
work.
Aw,
Never
poor
made
poor
flubber.
Jay.
It's
F's
also
in the
like
chat for Jake's flubber.
I had like an old hi-fi system, like a cassette tape player, and I genuinely believed I could build a robot out of the parts because it's just electronic parts, right? Surely I'm a genius, and if I toil hard enough, I could make a robot friend out of this fucking CD player. Didn't work
Jake
either.
is
No.
special. Jake is very special.
I
everyone.
was special. I
Granda
tried it
says.
yesterday.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's what I was doing
Very
doing this
sorry.
week.
Is that why you had to chug Starbucks and give yourself gout again?
To cope with not being able to
Yeah.
build a robot friend or make flubber this week? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've hung on to it. Now, if
Granda
there was a
says he
movie, or go ahead, Rini, and then I'll go. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying. Point. Granda says he knows Christians who wouldn't watch Constantine or Hellboy. I think it goes either way. It's like there's atheists that won't watch things that they won't touch anything that challenges their beliefs, and there's ultra religious people that's reversed. So it's everything, and it's not just religion either. Nowadays it's definitely politics. You got people that wouldn't watch that that what's that movie, the one about child trafficking with that guy who played Jesus, that was really good, and a lot of people wouldn't watch it just because it was a conservative movie, which is ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Fuck, what is it? Oh, Passion of the Christ or whatever. Or no, I don't know. No,
the newer one. Yeah. Anyways, it's done.
Real quick, you guys. I have an announcement. Is that because Phill Diaz has been getting blamed for a lot of things, a lot of allegations against him. I can't be associated with him anymore. Just kidding. Phill.
Oh, nice.
We disavow.
What is he doing? What is
Phill,
he doing here?
you're not our friend anymore. We already had a funeral for you. You know.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm late. I had to take a
Unacceptable.
shower because it felt so dirty today.
All those misdeeds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been taking
say
a lot
Hail,
of blame. Glad you're
say
taking
some-
responsibility for all the disasters you caused.
Contemplating my life in the shower.
say 7 Hail Marys and call me in the
For my
morning.
penance, I have to drink this jar of pickle juice tonight.
What the fuck?
Nice. You drink pickle juice too, dog?
That sounds
Nice.
disgusting.
I don't, but it helps with muscle cramps, so I have to drink.
Just get a salt lick, Phil. Just get a big chunk of salt, lick it all day.
I'm not a horse. A salt lick. Okay.
That sounds gross.
Pickle juice. I'm out of
Well-
pickle. This is perfect. I ate the last pickle.
Wait, is pickle juice supposed to? What is it supposed to do? Does it have like some medicinal properties or
It
something?
helps with muscle cramps. It has a lot of salt in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you ever cramp whilst doing anything, it's because you don't have enough salt in your diet, basically.
Yeah, well,
Means you weren't chugging enough pickle juice. I was just chugging it for no
That's my
reason.
problem.
I wish I had a reason.
you were just doing it. You like it.
I agree. I just like drink salt water or something
Well,
like a
pickle juice.
normal person.
But, I do arm days on Thursdays. That's why I have eat pickles on this show. But today I did crazy on triceps, and I can't put my arms down.
That's the best.
My triceps cramping. It's the first time my triceps are actually cramping.
When you exercise
Good.
so hard, you
Yeah.
lose range of motion.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's
You know,
how
you
you
can
know
get-
it's effective.
You can get too many electrolytes. I've heard this happened to a few
Yes.
people. You've heard of this?
Yeah,
Then you end up puking a lot and shit. It's kind of weird.
yeah.
Start getting electricity out of the ends of your fingers.
And I guess someone told me electrolytes is just salt. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Then why don't they just call it salt?
it's in Gatorade,
That's not-
right? Gatorade's supposed
Yeah.
to have a lot of electrolytes. And
Has a little saltiness to it.
yeah, my dad was a construction worker. Like, he would build foundations for buildings downtown. He actually worked on the building that C2E2 is in every year. And if you guys go next year to McCormick Place, before you go up the escalators, there's this huge plaque with everybody's name on it that worked on it, and you could find them on there in the many names of Diaz that worked on it, because there's a lot of Mexicans in Chicago. Anyways, yeah, he got.
Are you the only non-Mexican Diaz?
They get up that far.
He
He only
is
has-
Mexican. His name
he
is
only has
Diaz.
But he
He's
got
the
sick on the
tallest
job.
one, probably.
My dad got sick on the job from drinking too much Gatorade.
Pickle juice.
Oh.
Is pickle juice just tainted vinegar? Is it like white vinegar?
No, you want me to read the ingredients on
Yeah,
that?
because I do love drinking vinegar.
All right, we got fresh cucumbers,
These are weird.
water, salt, distilled vinegar,
There we go.
Me.
contains
Help me.
2%, less than 2% of dried garlic. Okay.
I got it.
Tainted vinegar.
Calcium chloride, sodium.
You're not allowed to talk now. All.
Well, I'll
Spike.
just wait. Is that, we don't need to hear the rest of it. You can.
It's
Jake, this is your fault.
good.
No. But I gotta
Phil's
tell you guys
fault.
something real fast. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching the basketball game at the bar, and I overheard someone say there was a younger white trash cool dude playing pool, and his kind of white trash friends, and he comes over and they're like, "Dude, your hair is awesome, man." And he's like, "Dude, two things: protein, carotene." And the other guy's like, "All the teens, it's all the same."
T-I-N-E. He goes, T-I-N-E, dude. T-I-N-E.
Carotene.
Yeah,
You gotta.
that kind of blew my mind, but I think it sort of makes sense. Carotene and protein might help.
What
your
about
hair.
creatine?
Well, carotene
Yeah, there's
helps
more
with your hair,
teens.
yeah.
Yeah,
Creatine. Help
yeah,
your,
and they were saying that's all your hair is, protein, dude. That's toenails too, just protein. I'm like,
I really
oh,
want to
yeah.
grow more toenailels. I might as well
But it's
eat more protein.
It's not carotene, it's keratin though. But I guess English doesn't
That's
matter.
true.
Nobody cares about it.
It's
I know
better-
my keratin, my vitamins.
It's just nice when they all rhyme, I guess. But they're opposites. Like, if funny the guy associated them. I don't know.
I'm just getting over my aluminum poisoning. I don't know if you guys could see this little white line at the end of my fingernail.
Is that as dangerous as lead?
I
What
thought
is it?
that's just what nails look like.
No, so months ago, you could go back on my Diaz Brothers show and you could see when I first got aluminum poisoning, it was white, this white line, but it was up here by the edge of the nail bed. It's because
Whoa.
Brandon exposed our whole office of melted down aluminum cans, and we all inhaled it, and they got aluminum poisoning for a little bit.
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
you
it's
can look
still-
at your nails for
Yeah.
I forgot.
my
about
brother's
that.
is still coming out. I'll have him show it tomorrow on the show.
Okay.
It's weird that you're saying it's his fault when clearly it would be your fault. Just like all
You
other things.
made him do it,
No.
right?
You are to blame for Brandon giving everyone aluminum poisoning.
Yeah.
Why would he have a bunch of burning aluminum cans? What the fuck was he?
It's a long
What was
story.
he
But he
doing?
did get like a crucible. He ordered a crucible, which apparently is my fault as well, even though he ordered it. And then he started melting down aluminum cans.
Men take
Hey,
risks,
good
Irene.
job, Brandon. Well,
It's-
yeah, yes, but there's taking risks and then there's just being dumb.
That's taking
Good.
boring normal risks and taking really cool risks that endanger everyone.
Yeah, if that's how you want to think about it. Cool. Hey, no,
Just
no,
tell
no, listen,
yourself-
I'm not. Let me judge because I'm the one who made mustard gas by accident. So don't tell me about taking risks or not, okay? I just let me bask in other people's mistakes.
Has everyone here poisoned themselves?
Yes.
Have I?
Wait, I
Poison
have
myself.
mustard gas poisoning. Jake has lead poisoning. Phil has a
Oh, yeah, I have poison myself.
That's right, that was
Narwhal,
the
you have to catch up.
Yeah,
I don't know. I caught ringworm from the wrestling mat in high school.
Oh my god! Hell.
which isn't a worm.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like the spots on your skin.
No,
No,
it's
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 just
like
the
a red
circles.
rash that goes up your vein towards your heart. And the doctor's like, if it reaches your heart, you get real sick and might die. And you have to take antibacteria, I think, which is kind of sketchy itself. That is, but
Anti-heart medicine.
You
yeah.
probably caught a bunch of poisons in the river, so we'll just.
You probably got like
Okay.
several ticks.
Yeah, I got
has stuff
multiple
growing
Lyme
under your
disease.
skin.
Yeah. What's this hype, Wizard?
You reminded me of this meme when you were talking about atheism. He goes, guys, guess what? I convinced my mom God isn't real. And the other nerds go, woohoo, yeah, score one for atheism. And then his mother's life is just that
Aw, that's
Hold on.
sad.
It vexes me.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's
No.
that I was like, that's why atheists must vex you. They're so happy that they've completely destroyed his score, dude. You completely ruined the perception of reality,
What a
bro.
bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
That's sad. Yeah. Let people believe what they want.
FKA 322 says he killed her. No, he killed her mind. She's crying on the floor.
Their soul.
That's yeah.
Phill, did you have any beliefs when you were a kid, like that were totally ridiculous? Like I do remember once I was looking at my skin in the mirror, trying to will it to turn green because I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle, and I did it for like a half hour straight.
That's great.
Nothing like that. I feel like when I was young, I was a little OCD. Like I would specifically eat food a certain way. Like if I would have toast, right? You know, when you're a kid and your mom gives you toast,
From the middle out.
and then you butter the toast, and then maybe sometimes you put some jam on the toast as well. Anyways, I would have 2 pieces of toast and on a plate, and then I would tear the bread, the toast, if you will, in half. But you know how like you have bread where the top of the bread has this little curve to it, and then the bottom
Yeah.
is more rectangular. So I would tear it so the curved part, which is the smaller piece, is off, and then the rectangular piece, which is obviously the better tasting piece because it's bigger and more square. And so then I would put them on opposite sides of the plate from each other, and then I would eat the small rounded pieces first, and then the rectangular, more tasty part second.
Yeah.
You're mentally ill.
Well, tying this in is like if
You're
Phill
talking.
tried to convince someone that that's the best way to eat toast,
Uh,
if they had suspension of disbelief, they would kind of go along with it,
Yeah.
or they would definitely not have suspension of disbelief.
I mean,
You
we all
reminded me.
had those kind of takes as kids, though. I'm sure.
You reminded me as a kid, I would go and hang out at my friend Dave's house. But like he apologized for it later, but he used to mess with me. And basically I'd spend my whole day around his and I'd be like, Dave, I'm hungry. Can I have something to eat? And he's like, you can have 1 piece of bread. I was like, okay. And I would just get really creative with eating the 1 piece of bread that I had.
Yeah.
Like, you
So
know, eating it
basically,
from the
you
middle.
were Oliver Twist. I didn't know that.
Somewhat.
I remember
In a
that.
way,
What was
Murray-
that? Was it a Bugs Bunny or something cartoon where it was a whole family cutting a loaf? Like they didn't have a loaf of bread; they had one
No.
single slice,
Yeah,
and it
that's
was
Jack and the
toast, and it was
Beanstalk. Yeah.
yeah, it was translucent when they cut
Yeah.
it in. Oh, okay. That was
That's so funny. That was a Disney cartoon, yeah, with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy, and they're
Yeah.
cutting the,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah. I
bean.
remember that.
that was
That's
Jake's childhood.
iconic. Yeah, yeah.
Well, just when I went to my friend's house, you can have 1
Just
piece
get
of
friends.
bread for the day. Please.
I don't think that was a friend, my dude.
Nah, we're good friends.
Um,
He apologized
So-
later on.
I mentioned pseudoscience last time that I had a
Yeah, you love your
creative block
pseudoscience.
thing. I'm still on a pseudoscience kick. Yeah, that's where all like the fun. I think this is literally where like some fun dialogue potentially can come from because it's what Irene was saying. She's like, discuss people, things, or ideas. Right? Is like ideas being the best. Pseudoscience.
My
is the-
original,
it's-
my original quote. Yeah.
yeah.
Fake ideas tops actual ideas.
Yeah,
That's
like
good.
Yeah,
there's
real,
an
very deep.
an infinite pool of ideas in the baggie of pseudoscience. You can just pull some out. But I have an example. So I wrote. Let me just read this real fast. So Jonathan, this is Jonathan, Dracula, Nosferatu, and Wenzel, who's the niece.
Wenzel.
But Jonathan, he goes, "Have you seen Betsy, my hound? She went missing." Dracula, "Well, you walk her without a leash, and she's always chasing deer. What did you expect?" Nosferatu, "Maybe she got hit by a car." When Wenzel says, "Nope, dogs chasing deer can never get hit by cars." Dracula, "What do you mean? Of course they can. It happens all the time." Wenzel, "Nope, the deer always crosses the road first. They get hit, but the dog is always the second to cross, and the cars have time to stop, so they never get hit." Nosferatu, "Are you telling me that all throughout history, all the dogs that have chased deer across busy streets, none of them got hit? You can look it up." So anyway, if you see Betsy, let me know, okay, fellas? So that's the end of that example.
I don't remember that
But-
from the movie.
Yeah.
I'm,
But
I'm
the idea-
very
so the-
confused.
Yeah, it's this
It
fact.
sounds like a whole lot of bullshit.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's plausible bullshit. The best kind of bullshit.
No, it's not.
Is that in your Nosferatu book?
No, but this would be a new comic if I wrote another one.
No, the reprint of Nosferatu has to have the scene inserted in it, just like the alternate ending print that you want to
Yeah. The ending that ruins everything or whatever, yeah.
It's
But
kinda,
yeah, the question being this factoid that dogs can never get hit while chasing deer, and she gives you a reason. Like that makes me laugh because it's sort of an okay reason. So I feel like at that point, for the audience, I'm kind of like, okay, maybe, but I don't know.
it's kind of like dogs can't look up from Shaun of the Dead. But that's a different, like, they argue it, but it's like so small a thing that you're like, can they look up though? It makes you think, have I ever seen a dog look up though?
Right.
Yeah. That's
like
pseudoscience. That's awesome.
Absurdity science. Like it reminds me of like weird Alice in Wonderland stuff. Like that's logic.
Yeah.
Pseudoscience, like crazy things always happen on full moons or whatever, like that.
That's,
Oh yeah, no, that's just nonsense.
complete nonsense, Irene. Go to any fucking
Watch him
hospital on
go.
the planet.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's learning how to
But
troll me now. This is not
scientifically
fair.
proven.
I need to start gaslighting.
I learned
Irene
from the
again.
best.
I quit gaslighting you because you believed everything I fucking said. Now I think I need to bring it out again.
I'm very gullible, but now I learned that I can reverse troll you and as revenge.
I love being trolled.
Yes.
Reverse trolled.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's what Jake said. It's plausible deniability. You're trying to build that up. This is like the idea of if you're building something that you know is potentially not true, how can you create a world in which it is true and then it doesn't trigger your audience? And there are little things. It could be little points of dialogue or pseudoscience, little ideas that are fun, challenging the audience, because it does let you challenge the audience, which is kind of fun as a writer. Like, I don't know if there's examples where it actually would be something that you could really tease them or play with them a little bit.
Well, it's like it's in the horror genre. It's the skeptic, the believable skeptic or something, and they have it in Jurassic Park, right? So to make you believe that you can resurrect dinosaurs using DNA and it all works, they have a bunch of scientists and like they have those characters go through the process of not believing it. Like, you're crazy, it won't work, and then like they get
Yeah.
walked through believing it, and they're like, holy shit. Like they do it in horror for like the story of the horror monster, like why it came to be, right? You'll have the skeptic, and it's proven to the skeptic in the story that it's believable, and that is supposed to help the audience suspend their disbelief.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, one of the most iconic examples of suspension of disbelief that is like right on the middle where it can go too far or whatever, but it's Bigfoot, I think. And that has like the stuff you're talking about. Like you would have a skeptic, you would have build up to when you actually do reveal Bigfoot. There's a new movie coming out where it's just all Bigfoot. There's no humans in it, and it's called Bigfoot Sunset.
What?
And they just
What?
it's just them living.
Sounds like an
What's
independent film.
Planet of the Apes with Bigfoots?
Yeah,
What-
I
what
think
the fuck
they
is
just they might see a human like far in the distance and hide.
Oh wait, what? So it's reversed. It's like it's a Bigfoot society. They're like, so we have
One
this
human?
theory. There are these
Well-
human creatures, and I know they're really not myths. Like,
Yeah,
think
it's
they're
they're
myths,
like
but the
the
secret is
humans
they
think I don't even know what they know, but they're like, yeah, we need to. The humans don't really know. We're kind of secret from them, and we need to keep it that way. So
Okay, no, I've got it.
It has to come full circle. Okay, you go first. You both have
What
great ideas.
what if it's like the government fake alien autopsies, shitty Bigfoot, oh, it's fake, like the guy just made a fucking impression, and if you stabilize the footage, it's clearly a guy. What if that shit is actually engineered in order to make you think that they're not real,
Right.
to protect the fact that they are real?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, the CIA has been doing that for decades.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
funny.
We already know about that.
So
the
that
the
and
movie
that
needs
now
to be about.
That's-
go ahead,
That's
go ahead,
what I'm
Irene.
saying.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna start firing off at like a movie idea. Like, what if tying this into Hollow Earth or whatever, the Bigfoot in the movie are actually from a Hollow Earth. So in their world, it's all Bigfoot, and inside the Earth, it's only Bigfoot. So it's inverse of the actual surface of the Earth. And sometimes they come out into the real world in the mountains or into the surface, and they see humans, so it's from their perspective, but it's the reverse. And on their end, they have footage of human beings, like, ooh, that blurry footage.
One that just wandered
real.
around.
You got a whole movie and it's just all Bigfoot society, and they're like, humans aren't real. Human, not even
Yeah,
humans.
it's not that brilliant, but I just had to say it. Let's move on.
Yeah,
No.
that's good
I
though.
would-
But what both of you guys are saying is like a great ingredient of suspension of disbelief is to it kind of adds that line. It's like the dumb fact that I had in my scene. You have that thing, and then the audience has to decide whether or not they'll buy it. And because they're kind of in your story, you can set the world up so they will accept it more. That's like I feel like that's the kind of thing where you actually could kind of get like an atheist to enjoy an angel story is if you had a little explanation for like, well, the reason why, there's no real like it's like atheism's cool, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of it's really hard to
No,
do it to
okay,
an
I could
atheist.
I
Well,
could
it's
say
not as long as it's
in
not
they did it in Rick and Morty. They kind of explained a version of heaven that an atheist could be into. They just say it's like a collective consciousness energy entity that you get like uploaded to when you die, and if you believe in it, that's where you go because it's just generated by the people that believe in it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of different versions of that. There's collective consciousness, there's versions of reincarnation, there's the whole idea, everybody is just one consciousness recycling over and over again, alternate universes.
Well,
But
I think like
but
the main thing of verisimilitude or suspension of disbelief is you need things that your audience can relate to that gives them a familiar feeling to their reality, and that's the same thing with like a theme. You want your audience to connect to themes so they could more easily sit in your story, whether it's in a fantasy world or something like The Grinch, which is based inside of a snowflake that's falling in our world, right? Or like, any of those Dr. Seuss things like Horton Hears a Who, where the Who world is on a flower, but you have those familiar themes that connect your audience to the story.
Yeah.
I think there's almost a I'm sorry, we keep talking over each other.
Oh, real quick, artist. Granted Comics, he goes, suspension of disbelief is a contract between the creator and the audience. It doesn't make sense to go see Jurassic Park. At the whole movie, you're going to be snickering sarcastic at the dinosaurs. I agree, and that's a little bit kind of what we're getting into is some of the nitty gritty of a little bit of this. And FKA, he says, what story comic required the most suspension of disbelief from you? That is an interesting question, actually, because part of that question is suspension of disbelief a good thing or a bad thing? Having a lot of it, because you could think, oh, that required so much suspension of disbelief. It was too much suspension of disbelief. Or you'd be like, yes, I really want to suspend my disbelief. Give me something crazy.
But
Let's do this.
I can't think of like an example where it's like, oh man, that's too far fetched.
I think it's either it's kind of an all or nothing thing, right? Because it's very nuanced. Either you're in the world or just one thing breaks you out of it. So in that sense, that makes that's a very risky part of writing, but there really is no levels of suspension of disbelief. Either it works or it doesn't, because you can, and it's not about how much the story departs from our real world, because you could have something that's like just you don't even have human characters, it's super far in the future, but as long as you, just like Rhonda said, you establish this contract with the reader, these are the rules, and you don't break your own rules, then the belief in the verisimilitude is not broken, then the reader can enjoy the story. So and that beginning part of you, there's almost a when you're establishing the contract and leading the reader from being able to see the story from the point of view of the reader or viewer and see through their eyes. Okay, I'm brand new to this. What do I have to establish for them to believe this world? Walking them through that steps, that's building the contract. And after you've built that, you don't break it. So I think that's how you successfully create, immersion.
Yeah, I
Can I
like
jump
that.
in there? Paul Arts brings up a great point. Crank and Crank 2. Those
Oh yeah,
are
pseudoscience.
Well, the main plot thing, but Jason Statham is doing ridiculous things, and we are supposed to believe this is in our world. He's jumping a car off of a ramp. His car has a bomb strapped to the bottom of it. There's a crane hook in the air, and he perfectly jumps it so the crane hook takes the bomb off of his car and explodes. Same thing with like the ladder movies of the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah.
Also need you to have the ability to be like, yeah, I can just anything can happen in this film. Like if freaking Vin Diesel flies in the next film, that's fine with me. Like those are the ones where
they can take it so far where that's like their shtick.
Yeah,
and you can be into that, but you can definitely not be not in the mood for it or whatever. Yeah, I was gonna say with FKA too is like I think the thing that kind of breaks that contract for me, it is plot convenience is the number one thing that will take me out of a movie. And plot convenience, that would be like breaking suspension of disbelief too. If like all of a sudden it feels written, it feels like a story, and like a lot of the cheesy Star Wars stuff or whatever.
Man. Really stupid decisions humans wouldn't make. Like I watched the new Fallout, and like there's literally a moment like, okay, the new Fallout, I fucking hate the guy in the power armor. He's the shittest character in the universe. I wish he died. I hate him. But like he's completely useless. No woman would find him attractive. He's cowardly, he's ineffective. He's basically the inverse of every character trait that makes a relatable character. He doesn't really seem that motivated, but there's a scene where he's like in this room with the main woman, and then she just openly asks him, "So, do you want to have sex?" And it's like, you would not find this person attractive. There's no. He's done nothing to demonstrate that. Like you would instantly go, "Hey, want to fuck?" Because we got like 5 minutes. We could totally fuck right now. Like that is like, no, I can't suspend it. Like that's an illogical character decision.
Yeah,
but I agree.
And on the flip side, the things that will build really good suspension of disbelief, it's some of the simple things, but it's like when your characters are getting totally fucked, like in real life, like when your characters are like so screwed because life just beats you down.
Yeah,
and it's very relatable how fucked life will fuck you. Sure. That is like always pulls me into a story.
Yeah, and people getting super lucky is the opposite. That's why people say that like a character can't get out of a problem through coincidence, but they can get into a problem through coincidence. Like you believe someone getting punished, but if you see them getting lucky, you're like, yeah, fuck you, wouldn't happen.
Right.
I believe you're real. You're not real.
Yeah, except for very rare kind of stuff right at the end if it's thematic or whatever. But yeah.
Or it has to be established, like this person is fated or the fated one, which is why it's so common. And it's annoying, but sometimes it works.
Oh, the fated.
There's Jose Garcia's in the chat. He says if shonen breaks its own in-world rules, people notice immediately.
Yeah,
Jose,
and that's the versatility. That's come up a lot, and that's good because I didn't even write that, and that's great. That's totally a big part of it. But yeah, like plausible deniability, pseudoscience, verisimilitude. These are some of the elements of what do you call it? Suspension of disbelief. A big one that I was kind of thinking is the audience wants to believe. We're like Mulder in the X-Files. So like if you even like vampires, like if you're into vampires, like I'm in a phase where I'm into vampires. So I'm like I'll watch any vampire movie because I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, vampires exist. Let's do this. Let's see this movie. What's this all about? Zombies can be like that. Angels or just fantasy, sci-fi. whatever people are into, and they're kind of. It's not like you're into one thing. People be like, "What's on the plate tonight? What do you got for me? What exists that I can enjoy it existing while I enjoy this story?"
Have you
And like,
seen Once Bitten?
yeah, that's the '80s Jim Carrey movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
yeah, super fun. He does the classic guitar leg, where he plays his leg as a guitar while he's like dancing. It's pretty badass. But he can only do it because he's like really bendy
Yeah.
contortionist.
I never saw the Vampire's Kiss. You watched that recently too, Phil, right?
Yeah, dude, you got to see that. It's
Okay.
insane.
I really want to see that one.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah. But yeah, the want to believe thing's kind of interesting. So a little bit what that sometimes plays into is this persuasion thing is like, say you are on some level trying to persuade your audience into like getting into your story. With persuasion, the number one rule is if they already want it, then you don't need to do anything. That's just like, it's very similar to sales. So like that is a big thing. A lot of people don't have to do nothing. Then another thing is the because rule, which is there's weird statistics of if you say because, like I think the actual test they did was like it was like a real study, but it was like a guy cutting in line and seeing if people get mad or not. And he would either just cut and do nothing, or he would cut and say, "Sorry, I have to cut because," and he would say like something. And then they had one where the guys was saying, "I have to cut because," and then he would either say nonsense or nothing, or like just say because. And it was the same. Like people, once you say because, people, you've given them their reason to not get angry. You've given them like a little explanation.
Yeah.
But so that's what's funny is like having the one like paying, what do you call it? Like you pay a little penny to their explanation to like
A token?
yeah, like you like give them the little line, give them the line that lets them
Well,
be like, okay. You got to give them that line though, you know?
I think it's probably also a lot of the time easier to suspend disbelief just by having a light touch and not over explain it. Like
Right.
you don't need to explain midichlorians. People get that it's
Yeah.
the force. Like
Yeah. So that
Um,
was the sorry, I was even going to say that next. This is the other persuasion thing is two reasons are way worse than one. One reason is always the best. Never give two reasons because the second you give two
I was
reasons,
just
people don't
thinking-
trust you.
like you
Yeah.
believe that Walter White's meth is super meth because it's blue. You don't need anything else. You're okay with it. All you show is this blue meth. That's the good stuff.
I
It
think-
works.
Bow.
There's a certain what's like the legal term, common person or regular person, whatever that term is, and I think that applies to storytelling as well, like reasonable regular person, right? And so I
Layman?
remember watching Inception. What?
Layman?
Layman? Yeah, but there's like a legal term like reasonable reasonable person or whatever, but that just means whatever you can convince. Okay, was this action too egregious according to the average normal person, and that's how you determine whether this would like how the court would judge it. So, and I think that applies to storytelling as well, because I remember watching Inception and I was so fucking annoyed that these people that they picked to construct the world were architects, when I'm like, they should have been game designers. Why aren't they game designers? And it like bothered the fuck out of me, but normal people wouldn't think like that. So it's certain but it's because I've had worked in games, and I think for tying back to what Narwhal said about will geologists be able to suspend their disbelief for a movie about flat earth, I think yes, but you would have to earn that suspension of disbelief more, and they would be way more critical. But you're not appealing to those people necessarily unless you want to. What you want to appeal to are the average person, and just understand how the average person would question, like the level that they would question your world building, and just have those basic answers and don't go too much into it, or it ruins that immersion. It's like you're almost like, what is that? Doth protest too much?
Sure.
That kind of term
think
that
of that,
applies
that's
as well.
just-
Giving too many examples or reasons for things.
Sometimes you don't even need a reason. All you need to do is show it happening. Like, okay, the Simpsons movie, when they're all gonna kill everyone and they're lining up the nooses on the tree, and they even have a noose for Maggie. like that they
Oh,
get
hard.
out of the dome because of like a sinkhole in the sand pit. But if one of the characters turned to each other and said, "Hey, I think there might be a sinkhole in the sand pit that we can like totally escape," like no one would care about that. They just show Maggie falling into it and popping onto the other side,
Right.
and then popping back, and it's like you just show one quick example of it actually happening, and it's instantly believable, more so than a small quick explanation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like show don't tell, I guess, a little bit there.
Mm.
And even that, like that, almost tests my suspension of disbelief because it's kind of a little plot convenient. But that's interesting though.
Hey, Joe Ball's in chat. What's up?
Yeah.
No.
what's up?
Yeah,
Joe
Tesla-
Ball.
He just said
out there
the
too.
Martian angered me, but all his non-technical buddies liked it. Yeah, so I guess I hear so many of my really nerdy science friends going like, "Oh, fucking Interstellar this was all inaccurate, wasn't believable." I'm like, I liked it. It was cool, except that one sappy line, and all my engineer friends are like, "This is how space works." Whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is that. A lot of Nolan's movies are like that. He's cutting edge with
Yeah.
pseudoscience, and it pisses off anyone who's
Right.
into it.
But I think that can annoy those people because they try and portray those worlds as fully realistic worlds. If that idea was in like a more 70s style sci-fi world, they would probably be all for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it
Like when we argued about Superman spinning around and turning back time. Like
Sure.
Well, so
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
this actually
That
brings up.
autistic
This is a good
asshole.
point. So Nolan is selling it like he's kind of saying this should require not that much suspension of disbelief from you. You're welcome. And if a 70s cheesy movie where right away the ship is like a model,
Super
then
chrome, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, a lot of suspension of disbelief. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
I think that's because stylization could lend to that suspension of disbelief and like a coating of genre, right? Where if you have a certain style, like even like you say a comic book, if the comic book style is more cartoony, I think you're going to have a lot of more leeway with the suspension. Or if, as opposed to like if you're reading like a Brian Hitch super or Alex Ross book, super hyper realistic art, it's going to feel more grounded and more in our world. So
Yeah.
style,
Yeah,
and
that's a
genre
great
can affect
point.
that as well.
And
that hints to the reader how different from our real world that is. So, real quick, just to tie into Inception, real quick, because Inception was inspired by Paprika, and I found Paprika more immersive. But I think that's because it was anime. It was animated, and there was more. I assumed that this was less like the real world, so I wasn't as critical. It was easier just to go along with the story.
I mean, a perfect combination of the two is The Mask.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you can have your cake and eat it too with this, and it's not every movie can do that. And it's obvious the movie that did it the best, and it's The Matrix, did it like the best of all time. Where it's like, don't worry, this is real, this is the real world, but there's something you don't know about it. Are you
Right.
ready for this? And so it's like you won't need that much suspension of disbelief. So you're kind of like, nice, let's get into this. This is
Yeah, you're
so-
right. That might be like the perfect example of
Yeah,
something that
because
could
then
make-
when the crazy shit happens, you haven't like raised your suspension of disbelief really high. Because if you did that, you're like, yeah, cool. Like, oh, Vin Diesel can fly now, nice. Like this is fun, whatever. But because they started so low, like in Nolan movies, kind of do this too. They start so low, and then they do the crazy shit, and you're like, oh my god, it's real, and they're doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
It makes you feel
Right,
like a
that
kid again,
breaks
kinda.
it. The contract is broken then. You can't.
No,
change
I think
that baseline.
I think in the case of the Matrix, it's like however it works, it just hits harder. Kind
Right. Because
It's like-
the Matrix is our real world that we live in, and we can't argue that there's not this isn't a simulation, and we aren't plugged in machines, and there isn't a real world, because that's on a level above us. And so it's like, oh, everybody is experiencing this simulation that's the real world.
Yeah.
And this
You know
film
what's
is peeling back the layer.
You know what's cool about the Matrix too is you actually could put it as like a religious thing and an atheist. So say like, like all of us, I don't like maybe I even we all might a little bit believe in simulation theory or whatever. But say you're someone who really doesn't, but they would still the Matrix would not trigger them. I don't think the Matrix actually does persuade perfectly because it does kind of do this thing like that's cool if you believe that, but we're just showing you that this is it's true in this world with here's the evidence, the proof, and you can't disprove it. It kind of
Well,
so
another part of why the Matrix works so well is it is actually an incredibly simplistic concept. The world we live in is a simulation. It's like, okay, then all the crazy stuff is just stuff that would once you say it is a simulation, then you can do anything that all the crazy stuff that you could do in a computer game or anything, because people believe it because you've already sold them on the really simple premise of this is a. But then if you were to have other layers of like it's a simulation and then the robots built it to keep us in, but then there's angels and demons and they're fighting the robots to save the humans, and then there's also alien races that are coming in and they're actually the people that like telepathically. As soon as you start adding more stupid shit that
which the
Yeah.
sequels did do.
That-
Yeah.
That just you phrasing it that way reminded me of what a lot of anime and manga does, where they want to go so crazy and they want to keep pushing it. They almost push it too far. And I think I saw reading a lot of anime and manga after it goes to that point, because with the Matrix we were talking about, well, why does it work even though it gets so crazy and it's set in the real world? I think it's because the idea that there's an uncanniness to is the real world not being all that it seems. There's another layer to it was established early on. So that contract building stage was when the idea of the Matrix was established. And so if for example the movie was just Neo having his normal life for a longer time and then suddenly you do about like a Shyamalan thing, then that would have been annoying for the viewers. That would have been different. And
Yeah.
so once you establish that baseline, if you keep on pushing it, that breaks that breaks believability, which is what I think a lot of the sequels did.
Yep. Yeah, and it's like if you have like Vin Diesel flying in Fast Furious 8, it's the same thing on screen as like Neo flying, but Neo they've built all this context to make it still take place in a weird way within the real world that we inhabit.
Yeah.
And that is like kind of what part of what the magic, I think. And there's a few other movies that do that, but it's not that many. But that's definitely a fun little thing you can do. FKA says, how much does choice of genre, sci-fi, comedy, drama, horror, factor into suspension of disbelief? Good question. We're kind of getting at a little something here. Is like there you could rank suspension of disbelief as low or high. Like something realistic in the real world is low suspension of disbelief. Something crazy is high suspension of disbelief.
Here's why genres are great. They've already suspended the disbelief for you in a bunch of different formats. If you're watching a horror film, you've already believed that like monsters and stuff exists in other horror films, so that this horror film doesn't really have to do as much work to suspend your disbelief. They can use as light as touch as possible. Like same with sci-fi. You could have the Bicentennial Man, and it's like totally believable that he could slowly transform into a person because it's sci-fi, and like you already buy into a bunch of stuff because of the genre.
Yeah, and that reminds me, in Suspiria, which is kind of like 70s witch, awesome horror movie, but it was about witches. They have a scene in it where she randomly goes and talks to like a professor about witches, and he tells him, he's like, yeah, they sort of exist still here and there, but they don't really do crazy things. Blah blah. They used to do this. They got burned. Some of them were real, some of them were fake. It's like this huge exposition dump, and I'm like, they only did that because at that time there wasn't a huge backlog of witch movies that people already know. It came so early. They're like, shit, we have to have this scene, and you totally could cut that scene if you made the movie today. But it is a suspension of disbelief movie, but it's almost over-explaining if you watch it in today's context.
All of those genres, the one that you can get away with the most, I guess, is comedy, because it's supposed to be absurd. in order
Sure.
to be funny.
The
Oh,
question
yeah.
made me think of the film Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is like a family comedy, but because Arnold Schwarzenegger is the father, you could get away with really weird, almost action sequences in it. There's like a brawl, and it's absurdity too. So like he goes, the whole movie revolves around the father trying to get this superhero doll for his son that's sold out everywhere. So he goes to this warehouse that's like the black market Santa Claus warehouse, where he's gonna get a bootleg version of it, and everybody working there is in Santa outfits, and they all have this big fight. And then at the end, the climax of it is he walks into a warehouse where then he gets dressed up like that superhero Turbo Man, and he's jacked, right? Because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he's in this superhero outfit with a real jetpack on his back. And the final scene is him flying through the city in this jetpack, trying to save his son from Sinbad, who's also in the supervillain outfit. So it's this crazy, absurd stuff that has action in it, but the whole lead up to that makes you believe it because it's so absurd, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. So
Yeah, a guy in his room said comedy never counts, Jake. You still have to set your own rules. You can't actually do...
Mm-hmm.
You can do more crazy stuff, but you still have to stick to your own rules for it to work. Like, even in Freddy Got Fingered, which is just random shit constantly, like, you're still setting the rules that these absurd scenes are going to unfold, and people are going to act completely incongruent with how real people act.
Yeah. I had something about the horror. There is some fun suspension of disbelief with horror. Did I scroll past it already?
put that cookie down.
Yeah, so like with Gremlins, like you guys know Gremlins, right? Like it's like Gremlins could exist. This is like sort of like almost like the Matrix thing. Is like you just never met a shady old Chinese man dealing in wares in a back alley or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
If you did, maybe you
I
would
have. Excuse me.
met. Yeah.
Many of those.
Then you've probably eaten a mogwai before.
I probably have. Yeah. Yeah, I did live in Asia.
Yeah, so maybe Rini is like the geologist of Gremlins.
Oh no.
She's vexed. She's like, excuse me.
If you pour, she is the grown-up Mogwai. If you pour water on her, she'll get gremlins popping out of her back.
Yeah.
That's what happens when they live for too long. They turn into Ryrie.
I'd be really
Yeah.
good example of pseudoscience in a comedy / family film. One of my favorites from the 90s, Small Soldiers. Has anybody seen
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they're action figures that come to life, but how they explain that is they put like nuclear warhead
Really
chips.
good chips.
Yeah,
Just
and
really
they're
good
for
MSH.
nuclear weapons in these action figures, and they start wanting to kill each other. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's simple too.
Inspired by Stephen King.
That's like good suspension of disbelief. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, they sell it so well because it's just like a big global corporation buys it, and then they just have access to the search for anything, and they're just like an idiot, kind of like the skeptic, just typing in whatever to get it. But then they also suspend the disbelief by like they go to like the chip making clean room to show you how serious it is. You know what I mean? The manufacturing of the chip. So you believe in the chip even more because of that clean room scene.
Yeah, and the montage of them making the action figure. That movie's so good.
Oh, cool.
Which
Yeah,
is
yeah, that's
real.
funny.
Like,
They're doing all that persuasion stuff. Yeah. What about if you watch this tape? That's like The Ring.
The Ring, yeah.
Yeah. If you say Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror, there was a few others I was thinking of. There's so many where you're like, oh, that's like totally just. Oh, there was one that came out last year called
Urban
Talk
Legend.
to Me. Did you guys ever see Talk to Me?
I didn't watch that.
It was pretty great, and it was made by YouTubers. These Australian YouTubers made it. It's kind of the best horror movie from last year, probably. But it's all about this hand that has become. It's an embalmed hand that'll sit on the table like this, and it's become a party trick, kind of just passed around. But the last guy who used it as a party trick, he ends up killing his brother, and then trying to kill himself and failing, or almost killing his brother, but then killing himself. But then it kind of gets passed on to someone else, and they're still you can see Instagram video of kids getting possessed by the hand as for fun. They do it as a game. They like tie themselves up, and then you have to reach out and touch the hand and say, "Talk to me," and then the demon comes into you, and then they have to blow the candle out to make the demon leave. So that whole movie is like really fun. Of like, it's totally like, it's more of like a want to believe kind of thing. But it's a little bit of this thing too. It's like, well, you just never bumped into these ancient artifacts. They do float around in the party scene from time to time. You can meet someone with an ancient artifact and have a good party.
That's what a great marketing tactic. If someone it's like what a modern day Blair White Project.
Blair White Project.
Oh my god!
I know. That is her actual podcast.
Found footage. Is it really?
But it's she has a podcast called the Blair White Project. But Guy in Zoom said TikTok challenges. So if you have a movie idea, but you create something really memeable and make idiot young people do TikTok challenges because that's just what they do, and that's your marketing tactic, just like Narwhal was mentioning with the hand, but something similar. That would be fucking genius for an indie film.
Yeah.
Or comic.
To promote our comic, we should start the kill yourself TikTok trend.
No, I disavow.
No, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of that, it's Flatliners. That's what Flatliners is. But that I haven't seen that movie and I want to now. It sounds good.
Flatliners?
Yeah.
Oh god.
The old one with who's is it? Kiefer Sutherland? Isn't the old
You
one?
could start doing a TikTok trend, but then like the people die during it. But you're making those videos and seeding them out there, and they go viral. And you're like, like they didn't really die.
No. Don't let that to happen. I want it to be in Minecraft.
So one other like idea is the past, present, and future with plausible deniability. So in the past, you have the secret history. A lot of it, like if it can't be disproven, then we enjoy being like, all right, let me put that hat on and believe this for a while. So we'll believe any secret history. King Arthur almost counts as that. There's a million examples. A lot of them are fun. A lot of it's like conspiracy theory-esque. And then the present is kind of the hardest and in some ways the funnest if they do it just right. That's like the Matrix. Because then you're like, holy shit, this is like now? This isn't even like back in the day?
Right.
And then the future is like, what the examples are still kind of fun, like killer AI, robots, zombie apocalypse, 1984. I feel like those three cover like almost everything too. Like, these are the options for your future.
Well, you have a lot more leeway with both the past and the future, or just because the past and the present are more grounded, though. The future or fantasy, because whether it's a different universe or it's the future, that hasn't actually happened. And in the past, I would say secret history and the past are different because, when you're reading historical fantasy or historically realistic stories, like the fans of that are fucking anal. They will pick apart every single detail because that's what those fans enjoy. Yeah, okay. But
Hot.
but the secret society stuff and the secret history, that's almost bordering on fantasy. So that's a little different. And you have more leeway.
That reminds me of Assassin's Creed. Like if you ever played those games, like the first 3 or 4 games, that's like secret history, like divergent from actual historical stuff, and that's pretty awesome. Like the Golden Apple, all that stuff. It's the lore behind the Assassin's Creed.
And it is. You're right. It's like two separate things almost because it can get more and more fantastical. And in the bottom two is like straight up fantasy. A lot of times that will have it can be past or future, or another universe or another world, like a completely different thing. A lot of times it'll say once upon a time. They'll have a little one line to get you into it.
Have you guys played the Assassin's Creed games?
I know of them.
Because I played a little bit of Valhalla because it was Vikings.
Well, the whole premise is like historical fantasy or historical sci-fi and futuristic sci-fi at the same time, which is crazy because like there's 2 levels to it. Your character,
they're simulating the past
Right.
through
A
someone's
machine.
brain, through their
Right.
genetic memory. So it's like they're going into the genetic memory of people to make them go into their memory to live like through the lives of the people that existed in the past, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're in the I forget what the machine's called.
It's pseudoscience. That's badass. I'm telling you guys, pseudoscience might be the ultimate secret that we've been looking for.
As long as you use
the
it,
show.
yeah, and combine it with the light touch. It's like in Rick and Morty, they use the word muscle memory, and they basically just suck the muscleness out of one dead guy's arm and put it into Morty's arm, and they just throw the word muscle memory around, and it's like, okay, I believe it. That's how that
Yeah,
works.
that's funny.
Animus.
Yeah.
Cool Slaw has it. The Animus is the machine in Assassin's Creed that lets you go into your past ancestors' memories. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's cool. I need to watch like a Let's Play of those or something. I've been watching Let's Play of Stellar Blade. It's pretty badass.
Ah, the little glowing heart on a.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's funny is there's a streamer that I'll watch. These two dudes, they play Resident Evil 5 modded. So all this crazy shit. I always watch them play that, and they always accidentally shoot each other because they keep friendly fire on. So it's like very comedic. And then they swear at each other, and they're like, "That was your fault. It was your fault. Oh my god." It definitely makes me laugh. But then I log on, and that guy says, "We're playing Stellar Blade." Uncensored, let's do this. So I'm like, oh, my boy. And it's 5 people watching. So I click on it. I'm like, so now 6 people watching. I'm like, nice. Uncensored Stellar Blade. What do we got? And he's got her in like the Playboy bunny outfit. And I was like, oh, nice. That I don't think that's available in the censored version or whatever, or it's way more different or something. I'm like, this is cool. But the other thing that was making me laugh is at the point I jumped in, they had been streaming for 2 hours, and they were just trying to beat the game. Everyone had forgot that she's wearing the bunny outfit. So he's just like, he's like, so we need to go here and do this. We need to talk to her. I think she said that, and we're about to level up. We're going to get this skill.
That's good, though. That means it's actually good and it's fun.
Yeah. I know. It's kind of a good
Yeah.
argument against what the other people say is that whatever.
Yeah,
that
it's just some extra enjoyment. I don't know why it's such a big deal, but yeah, but Booba is good. Michael Deitch has an interesting comment. He said Michael Crichton was a legit published scientist who had credible scientific premise underpinning his books. Yeah, that made me think about how Tezuka, the father of manga, he was an actual doctor. He went to school, became a trained medical doctor, and then he's like, I want to draw comics, which I think about a lot. And I'm like, if he had that dedication to throw away a career like that to draw comics, I better make this work.
And you can throw it all away too.
Yeah, I'll throw it all away and just go live under a bridge and draw comics. And John Grisham, I really like John Grisham's lawyer mystery novels. He's also a lawyer, and I realize, and a lot of people some really good writers, the subjects that they tend to write about, they're also experts in that secondary field. So I think that helps with that suspension of disbelief, just really being into what you're writing. It's not just, well, we build it if it's going to especially be a real world subject, right? Because you can kind of bullshit it more. For, say, I'm doing a fantasy story. Nobody's going to pick apart, well, exactly what each rune is and exactly how the shamanic system works. But if I was writing about a real world, say, clergy or a hospital that's in Atlanta, then I would need to do more research and make sure it's accurate.
Yeah. And it's not as hard as you think to achieve that level. This is what I think, or I tell myself at least, is like to do a little research and add a little authenticity. You know, it's not like, oh, you got to go to school for 4 years or whatever. It's like spend 8 hours on YouTube, maybe. You know,
yeah, honestly, just fucking be really into a subject. So, the Vinland Saga creator Makoto Yukimura. I mean, as far as I know, he's not some Old Norse expert, but he is like
this isn't the second
giant nerd about who's that? I don't know that person. So he's a giant nerd about ancient and Viking Age history, and he went to Norway, did research, and took pictures and everything. I spent a lot of time understanding that culture. So Vinland Saga, the everything that's drawn in there, like the tools people use, the clothes, it's more historically accurate than the Vikings show and a lot of Western stuff. Because it was, I think, in especially the American stuff, they're like, "Ooh, let's just make Vikings like sexy and clad in leather," except that's not how they dress. So this fucking manga is more historically accurate.
Yeah, the
So,
West is
put in
like
some effort.
the West is like give him dreadlocks. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they had that.
Fuse box. 30 days remain for Outlaw Knights second chance campaign of Indiegogo. I've had Fuse box. I don't forget the dude's name, but this guy's cool. I've had him twice on my channel. This pitch is great. This book looks good. 75% chance, so everyone check that out. We might take a look later. We'll try and pull it up. If you can remember. And we got Vaughn here. Vaughn, how's it going, man?
Going well. It's going
Hello.
well. Long time no see. Been a minute. How you guys
Yeah.
doing?
Alex VRB has christened you White Cloud.
Christ into me?
Oh yeah, White Cloud. That's good.
What do you mean?
That
That's
should
so
have been-
perfect because
What if that's the new
because
guys?
Oh,
Change Lord
Your
Lightning to White
villain-
Cloud.
Hold on,
What
that
is
is
this?
so great because your villain is Dark Cloud, and also you love Cloud from Final
do.
Fantasy.
I
Alex
may-
is the meme master.
I may have been.
Perfect.
Who let this guy in here?
Yeah, is
Me.
it the second half now? All
Normal.
Sorta. It's
I've
right,
been
bye. See ya.
God damn.
yeah.
His loss. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm
Yeah.
already drinking, so you know.
Vaughn, what do you think of my shirt?
Oh, it's cool.
It's badass.
Cool. I haven't gotten to that issue yet,
It's
actually.
definitely a shirt, Phil.
Me neither. Isn't it
Shut
cool?
up, Jake.
Look at that.
It
Omega
is
Red.
cool. Omega Red. That's
Fucking
that's
badass.
cool.
Is that red?
No, it's Omega. All right,
Is that
never
a
mind,
red
Jake.
shirt? That's crazy.
The character's name is Omega Red.
He's a commie.
Yeah, he's a Russian. It's a dirty Russian commie.
Yeah, exactly.
Filthy.
But he's really cool. He's probably the coolest X-Men villain.
So did we have any conclusions about suspension of disbelief to wrap it up or not?
Yeah. The only thing is, a few things I'm taking away is I didn't even know what verisimilitude was, but when you guys say that, I'm like, oh, that's like
It's
a big
basic-
thing.
It's a good word, right?
It's
It is a good
Yeah.
word.
just
Verisimilitude.
suspension
So
of
that's
disbelief
pretty
is
much
one
it.
word.
That, and then maybe through talking about it, I think we did get to the point where it's like, oh, there are levels. It's not necessarily an all or nothing. It's not a token. I thought it was a token or a contract that can be
Levels,
broken.
Jerry. Levels.
What? Yeah, there's levels, and high can be
Yeah.
good or bad depending on the context.
It,
I still think there's very little leeway. Maybe it's like everybody's different. I guess you can. There's some levels, but once it's broken, like this threshold is. But yeah,
I think it
Genre
depends.
can
There
do
is
a
a
lot
bit
of the
of a
heavy lifting
gradient.
for you.
Yeah.
right. That was really interesting. Yeah, and how grounded it is in the real world makes a big difference.
Vaughn, did you have any beliefs that were crazy when you were a kid? Like you thought you could fly or anything like that?
Did I think I could? I'm sure I hang on. I gotta think. I'm sure I had some. I had one where I was like, "Yeah, no, Star Wars is real, but they're in another galaxy. They're really far away, so we have
Oh,
to bring
nice.
them here."
No, but
See, that means it worked.
that's an
The suspension of
effective
disbelief.
that's an effective light touch. Just saying in a far off galaxy in the past, like all you need is that one line and it just
No.
become believable.
Here's the question: is that mean it's actually not working because it's literally turning Vaughn into a psychopath? Like I think we're just trying to
I think that would have
entertain.
happened anyway.
Like no, I mean like a little kid, like or me, yeah, like the suspension of disbelief is sort of not working if it goes to, if people actually believe it. The whole point is the suspension of disbelief is not belief. So if people start to actually believe it.
Vaughn, did you think like squares tasted better than round things?
What?
Don't
That's
listen
what
to him.
Phil thought.
Phil's
Phil was more
crazy.
psycho than Vaughn.
What are you talking?
We thought Jake was the weirdo here, but actually it turns out it's Phil because of the way he eats bread. That's all.
Phil
he knows.
eats
don't
literally
anymore.
eats his breakfast like American Psycho. You're a little kid like
Yeah.
Patrick Bateman.
I don't even eat toast anymore.
I know you.
That's what
toast
Patrick
anymore.
Bateman would say.
Yeah, I don't eat toast because I don't want to like accidentally think I'm having a stroke when I smell it. You know.
Oh my gosh.
I
That's what
got it.
Patrick Bateman would say too.
I got it, Phil. I got the
No,
Thanks,
I
Jake. Appreciate it.
didn't get that joke. It's just
For the wrap up too.
Never had a stroke before.
Wait, did you
I
guys
mean,
say
I
that?
probably have.
Yeah.
So good.
Did you guys say that? What's the action figure one? Small
Small Soldiers.
Soldiers. Did you say that was written by Steven Spielberg?
No, I said it was inspired by a Stephen King short story.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but Jurassic Park. This is one takeaway. Jurassic Park is kind of very perfect with the suspension of disbelief, and they do a lot to make it work. And you guys are pointing out like some of it's the genre stuff, but like they have the skeptic scientist. They actually a lot of the plot is to show the process and the pseudoscience / borderline straight up science, and it's legit. But that's funny because it's like, yeah, they're explaining to the point of border almost. You could say they're almost over explaining, but it's kind of fun. They're explaining so much. They have the full presentation, and then they just show that to the scientists, and then the scientists like don't want to go for the tour. They want to actually walk behind the scenes. So like they break the tour and go into the lab, and then they're looking at the little babies. So cool.
All right, nice.
That
The end.
reminds me of who was this? There's this new, was it Despot of Antrim? I've been really into his channel, so it might have been him or it might have been somebody. Despot of Antrim is a YouTube channel he's hilarious. I don't even know where the fuck he's from, but he's got like the best accent. But does like movie reviews and critiques and stuff. But it might be somebody else. I might be misremembering, but I was watching this breakdown of why, say, a super science genius character worked in The Fly but didn't work with fucking like Riri Williams. And this video was bringing up how in The Fly, Jeff Goldblum's character would he didn't just build this device on his own. He got help, and there was an explanation for why he had the resources to get the help, why he had the resources to get the funding. That was even explained, and it was explained naturally because the woman, whoever she was asking questions, and it was like naturally revealed. And yes, he was a genius, but he didn't do it all on his own, because the regular normal person would understand that, okay, no matter how smart somebody is, they wouldn't just be able to build a whole fucking device like this on their own. But our suspension of disbelief as a regular layperson is broken when you have a character like Riri Williams who just builds a whole fucking Iron Man suit just from scratch. Or we understand that that's not. No matter how smart somebody is, that's ridiculous. Where's the funding? Where's the research? How do you have this information? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like maybe if she contacted every other super nerdy tech YouTuber and they met in secret and then they did it or something like that.
There's a cool
There's
thing
no
that kinda
explanation
reminded me-
though.
Yeah.
It reminded me in Iron Man. So like part of why Iron Man can become such a believable character that like he can do the really crazy shit with the robotics is like he manages to make the first version in a cave with nothing. Like they emphasize that. He goes, Tony Stark made us in a cave with a box of scraps. So as soon as they sell you on that, then they kind of sell you on, I guess he could invent time travel, I guess.
Yeah, and
it's also-
we saw him build up from just being in a cave, but he didn't just build it one try. He went through many iterations.
Yeah.
So, it's believable.
Yeah.
Go on.
I think that it's also like the fact that they have lines like that establishes that it's an anomaly and that it is an impressive feat. Whereas like with Rey, it's like she's good at everything, and then it's like they don't question. I mean, they have like it's like a weird thing where it's like they don't question it at all, or it's like if a character's a prodigy or something. Generally, like if it's better writing, they'll establish that like this is unprecedented, this is crazy.
Right,
Like,
it's not realistic. It's not like it's approached as you go, girl. Oh my god, you're so awesome. Instead of wait, like did you steal this? Like I mean I would have questions like how did you get this information? How did you have the time? Like don't you have to attend school? Where did you get the funding? Like
Also,
you don't have access to these research papers. What the fuck?
Consequences also help push belief as well. Like
Correct.
if your character doesn't have consequences,
Yeah.
it's not like reality. Look at the consequences that Tony Stark has to go through. He's even on like the first movie, he's on the verge of death when he gets his arc reactor ripped out of his chest, and that has to keep the shrapnel from going into his heart.
And even outside of that, he's such a flawed character that it's like, let's say he is unrealistically a genius in some areas. He's also a dickhead. who gets
Mhm.
put in that cave because of the weapons he built. And so because he already is offloaded with so many flaws, you're allowed to, it's easier to stomach the really good traits.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's more balanced.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool. Real quick, Simply Green had a comment I like. He goes, compare that line long time ago in a galaxy far, far away to the opening of Dune. Dune expects you to assume the suspension of disbelief. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is like a concierge at the door welcoming you in. That is funny. Those kind of lines are fun. And if you skip them and you're like, F you, we're getting straight into this. Like, that's funny too. It's a little different approach.
Maybe that's why I thought Dune sucked balls.
Dune was,
I thought it was awesome.
Boy.
I loved it, but to each their
Pretentious.
own.
Pretentious
Wait,
load of
Get
the
balls.
into
new
it.
one?
No.
Jake, I'm with you on that. I thought it was were you talking the first one? Because I didn't even the second one. I was fucking like I loved Blade Runner 2049. But Dune, I was like, I don't fucking care. Like every time they're talking about the inner world politics, I was like, yep, cool. Great.
Is
I
this
love
really
it,
didn't care.
but I'm definitely also colored by the fact that I did read the books, and there's a lot of stuff they could have explained better. They should have established a lot of stuff, especially for the second movie. I recognize that.
is part two cool? I heard part two. I didn't realize this, but is it about Paul Atreides kind of wrestling with the fact that a whole army thinks he's their chosen one when he knows he's not, and he's just trying to decide whether or not to take advantage of them? Because that's awesome.
That's basically what it is.
Does it get conveyed?
I love the
Does it get
entire
conveyed in
frame,
the
but
film?
yes, it was conveyed. Okay, and I don't think this is a book thing. There's a bunch of things that were in the books that they could have explained more in the movie, but that part of, personally for me, that idea that Paul, it was established in the first movie that he was, they thought he was Elise Nalgayu, but it was actually this ruse that was planted by the Bene Gesserit and all that stuff. And the second movie is essentially the redemption. So the first movie, it was the downfall of the House Atreides. Second movie, it was him getting his revenge. But to get his revenge, he had to embrace this fake messiah role where he was hesitant to, but that was the only way to survive. And the whole movie was all these steps of, he keeps on denying it, but then the only way to actually survive and move forward was to actually take on this role for both him and Jessica. And I like that. There were a lot of flaws, but I like that progression.
Her name's Jessica?
Yes, his mom's
Is this supposed to
name
be a
is Jessica.
fantasy book?
Yeah, well, his name's Paul also, Phil.
Why is his name Paul? Why is it like,
Well, it's like Luke Skywalker is also just Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's just a
that's
name.
fine.
Oh yeah.
I used to come up with like names.
I thought the premise is fast. I like the premise, the general premise, and the concepts that are spoken about in Dune. But I understand that the movie there's a lot of things that were missing.
I saw the original as well. I just both versions. I would just get bored, and I have immense appreciation and understanding of its influence, but it's not for me. I don't.
There's so much that they leave out. There's so much. I showed Jake this video of like explaining all the things in the books that weren't shown in the book in the movie.
That video made it cool. The video made it cool, and like if the movie conveyed these things in a clear way, I would have loved it.
See, that's the one with the giant worms, right? There's the giant worms.
Yeah,
more like Dune. Am I right?
Womp 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 womp.
More like
that wasn't funny.
More like
Dune.
More like doing your mom. All right, guys.
There's the thing that there's so much in the books. You guys are children.
There was a mom in it. There was a mom in it.
How were they doing?
It's almost hard to adapt. I should just give up. Why am I trying? The studios will probably force directors to have to adapt this in only like, it has to be within 2 hours, and you had to do this in like 1 or 2 movies. Except Dune benefits from a longer adaptation because there's so much more detail. So it's almost like the Game of Thrones, the ending, like season 8 issue, where you didn't establish those things. I think but it's not as bad. It's definitely not as bad, but I think that's part of the problem. Anyway,
did you guys see the 80th anniversary screening of Dune where they showed behind the scenes and they actually talked about how they were trying to make the worms not look too phallic? Like this is a genuine thing.
They should have made it more phallic.
80 80s 30th I think anniversary.
Oh, the old Lynch movie. Yeah.
Dark Tower.
With like some people thinking Dune sucked balls and other people having a religious experience, I think it's what you kind of get with properties like that when they throw a bunch of Dr. Seuss words at you and it's like all these grand ideas that if you're a true believer, you can have a completely different experience to someone who's like, okay, I'm fresh to this. Actually, sell it to me. Make me interested.
But
Like,
I went to see Dune 2 and Dune 1 with a friend who hadn't read the books, and he really, really liked it. So I think it's just different. It's how we approach believability is different. And Dune 2 was it made money. The general consensus was that it's good. So for the layperson who has a different bar for suspension of disbelief, like I think maybe if I hadn't read the books, I wouldn't have liked the movie. But because I had read the books, there's a lot of things that I kind of just assumed, and I was like, okay, I understand what's going on, even if the movie didn't explain it well enough. But for especially as writers and creators, I think people have a higher bar and more critical. So that didn't work for a lot of writer and artist friends that I know. But regular people liked it because like on the basic points, those were connected enough. And I find it interesting that you didn't find the connection of, well, that basic arc of he was trying to deny this preset path he had towards, well, he had to be the Elisa Al-Gaib and all this shit and this Messiah character, but he was forced to take that was understood by everybody I talked to. So
just not Vaughn.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I only saw the first one.
Just not Jake. Apparently. So Jake,
Yeah,
you're weird.
Bus,
also,
right.
You're weird. There was stuff in the first movie
weird.
that Jake didn't remember. So it does help to watch the first movie and immediately go into the second movie.
Yeah, when they're both out on a format that I can watch, I have vowed to watch it again because I'm not like, this sucks and anyone who likes it is a fucking moron. No, I genuinely want to enjoy it and I want to have the experience that you had. So when they both come out, I'm going to watch them both one after another all the way through and see if I change my mind. More. I hope I change my mind. I want to be fucking wrong. I want it because it's a very well-made movie. You can see and feel the fucking money. Yeah, but like,
get down with Zendaya and my boy Paul
I wanted to love it.
If she was hotter, it would have been so. I would have believed it a lot more readily.
Yeah, that's why I refuse.
No, you guys, I gotta say,
fucking
Zendaya,
ET. She looked like fucking ET rolling around.
No. Oh, that's a weird psyop. Like that's a right wing psyop.
No, I personally think she looked like ET.
Zendaya is beautiful. Like I don't get why people.
Oh, okay. I think she has fucking what is it? Rose character in Star Wars, like Marie Tran. Like she is very good looking in real life, but they fucking uglify her and they don't make her.
Yeah. Her as a real life person, beautiful. Her in that film, E.T.
Yeah. Ryan Blue Thunder says Zendaya should have been wrinklier and more dried out. See, that would have been better for suspension of disbelief.
We don't have a lot of water around here.
Oh man.
Yeah, just read Dark Tower. It's cooler. Just read the first.
Is that the reason why she's got no tits? Because they're like the camel humps in their world. So that if they're dehydrated, the tits go small.
She's been milked dry.
I think she did a good job with acting. I don't think she's a leading woman though, so I find it strange that she leads so much.
You're on the Disney Channel.
Dude,
that show! Oh my god, that show was horrible on Disney Channel. I remember I when that came out.
I don't know what show was it. What was she on?
Shake It Up. I remember. Shake It Up. It was horrible.
He was one of my main problems with Dune. The bad guys didn't actually seem that bad. They were never shown doing that much evil stuff. Like when the big fat guy killed people, it was like off camera, and you just walked in the room and they were dead in the corner, and you were like, "Oh, I guess you're implying that something horrible happened." Like it.
No, I agree.
Like a lot of gravitas was implied, and it's like if you're already a believer, then you're gonna fucking love it.
The one part I do agree with you on is the Harkonnens were not nearly intimidating enough. There's a lot of stuff with the Harkonnens scheming amongst themselves, and that happened in the books that was skipped over in the movie. So they didn't show any of that nearly enough. Thade was not as intimidating as he really should have been. It was just, oh, I'm acting edgy. Sure, Austin Butler did a good job, but there's so much more that could have been shown. What I did like was Paul's arc. Paul's arc was well done, in my opinion, in Dune 2. Yeah, the Harkonnens were. I think they're probably. I don't know.
Oh, and it's Timothée Chalamet. That's the actor. What do you guys think about him? Do you think he signed a deal with the devil? Why is he in so many big movies?
I don't like. I'm not like being dismissive of him, but I haven't seen anything by him that I thought was like phenomenal. You know, I
Well-
thought he was like, I think he just doesn't have, and maybe it's just me. I mean, I don't know if it was because to be fair, I didn't think Paul Atreides.
Maybe
everyone
women like
says
him.
that he's supposed to be charismatic, and in both versions of the movie,
Rini, do you think he's
I
a
didn't think he was
handsome young
charismatic.
man?
I literally know jack fuck all shit about him. Apparently he was Wonka.
Language.
Haven't seen him in anything else, but I think he did an absolutely fantastic job as Paul because
he's hairless.
Paul is supposed to be fucking 15 or
A little
16.
twink.
He's supposed to be small for his age. He's supposed
Well,
to
he's
be
tall. Tony
withdrawn.
Chalamet is like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
But he's
You know
skinny,
something-
and
Skinny.
Something I'll
supposed-
say about
supposed
Chalamet
to
is
be
he's
small and reserved at first, and he grows into this Messiah role.
Cringy.
I think
Nice.
I think he did a good job as Paul.
cool. Yeah, I do. You guys, you're convincing me to see Dune 2.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
need to
seen
see
it
it.
yet.
I don't know why I
Give
didn't
it a
see it. I
shot.
was in a weird mood or something. I thought it maybe
Yeah,
was
I
Watch
didn't
the
see
first one before it, and you'll probably like it more.
Just watch
I
X
agree.
Men.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and
stopped
Chalamet's
Play
great
Stella
in
Blade.
interviews. I'll watch interviews with him, and
I
he's
do
a
have that.
good interview guy.
Wait, was
I
he
haven't played. It's too
Interstellar?
expensive.
I haven't played it
Richard
yet
Dawes
either,
is-
Jake.
No,
Is
he
Chalamet
wasn't
in
in
Interstellar?
Interstellar.
Oh yeah, he's
They're
No, he
thinking of-
is. He is.
really.
No.
Who was
He's one of the
he?
kids. He's one of
No.
the son.
Oh really?
Watch,
Oh.
watch. No,
No,
I'm
that's
gonna-
that's Ben Affleck's brother.
no, the son, the kid.
Oh, the
Yeah.
young
He
version.
is. I just looked it up. Get fucked.
That was a long time ago. He must have been
Language.
like a little kid or something.
He plays young Affleck's brother. Is that what you're
No,
telling
he
me?
I don't
plays.
fucking
He
remember
plays
that.
Matthew McConaughey's son.
Hey,
The
go watch the
reason-
movie and get back to me. 'cause
The reason
He
he's in
does.
so
I
many
literally
films-
just googled it. He is in the film.
I'm telling you, Affleck's brother plays McConaughey's son.
Is
That's what I'm telling
Dune?
That's the older version. He ages.
the character
Yeah,
grows up.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
I got
No,
it.
see, how could two people play the same person? It doesn't make any sense.
Is Dune
fight,
a Warner
fight.
Brothers film?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think so. I don't know.
No idea.
All right,
Dune.
guess we'll never.
I'm gonna
figure it out.
lie and say yes, 100%.
Google
Phil.
doesn't exist.
All right. Well,
It is- yes, it is.
The
It
reason
is.
these people are in all of these movies all of a sudden is because they get multiple picture deals and they have to be put in these movies. So, like Timothée
Interesting.
Chalamet signed a deal with Warner Brothers, and so then he got the Dune role, and then he also had to do the Willy Wonka role, and then maybe it's a 7-picture deal, and he has obligations to do 7 films for Warner Brothers.
Oh,
Oh, they still do that?
Yeah,
Hollywood is
Sure.
weird.
That's why
used
Tim
to-
dies and everything, and this guy too.
Okay.
They
yeah.
used to do that in
Makes
like
sense.
more often in I remember in the older studio systems they'd have
Right.
specific theaters for like there'd be a Paramount movie theater and they had to. I remember they broke it up. But
Yeah,
it was
so it is still.
Yeah, I remember reading about Marilyn Monroe, and it was like they straight up owned her. Like the studio would own their actors, not just
Yeah.
her. But,
Yeah, they have
um,
insurance on these
but-
guys, like the actors and stuff.
yeah. So
Like a slave.
Crazy.
real
Yeah, that's Hollywood.
Slave One.
Yeah. Yeah, Slave One. Real fast too, let's look
Yeah.
at Phenomenova. I want to ask, who has been bothered by me not clicking got it? Like, is that
I've been
Me.
involved in the
Very
conversation.
irritating.
I haven't been looking at the screen to be honest. I actually spent half the time in the other room lying down.
Jake's already in bed.
Has anyone in the
Yeah,
chat
why
been-
Jake got as soon as I came in, Jake went off camera and never came back. I was like, all right.
I came back for like a couple of minutes.
Oh, did you? I was
Yeah.
looking at you.
About Dune.
It was
Oh,
like
to
a
talk about
couple-
Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in the other room and I'm like, yes, I get to come and talk about Dune.
That's my
So I
chance.
ran back
Yeah,
in.
yeah, Jake's really a big Dune fan. He's
No.
what are they Duners?
More
Yeah,
like
no,
cool.
yeah.
All right.
I came back.
I don't think
in
you could
to-
top Dune
to
your mom.
Say
I
the
don't think
Tony
you could
Stark.
top
It was the
Oh my
Tony
God.
Stark in a cave line where I re-entered the room.
Okay.
Where's
So-
Rini's cover?
Phenomenal.
Is it-
It's somewhere.
I deleted it. No,
if
I'm
you
kidding.
scroll down.
Can all right now it's
If you-
actually is
if you
bothering
keep
me. Now that it's
scrolling
covering the art.
down-
Can you please click got it?
Hey, that's
Please.
it.
Shouting.
Nice.
I'm
Shout
gonna
more.
take the short bus helmet off and have his hair like be electrified or some
Ooh,
shit.
yeah, do that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she did get.
Yeah,
She did.
the helmet
keep-
doesn't look the coolest.
The
She
short
keep
bus
asking
thing,
me.
It's not your
all
fault.
I can
Right?
think of is
I
Isn't that the
tried.
that
character
one guy
design
from
now?
the meme today now.
I don't care.
No, I told her she could do it. I was because apparently no one wanted to draw it, which is fun. Although I do think in the actual comic pages, I mean, here's the thing: it doesn't look cool. I laughed when I first saw the design my artist came up with, and I was like, "That's perfect," because he's supposed to look
Right,
like
he's
a
supposed
dweeb.
to look
Like a
lame, but
doofus?
this is a
But
cover.
on a cover, no, I agree with you. I told you could,
Yeah.
and I like the way you draw. You draw long blonde hair well, so I figured with
Yeah, do some
I
electrical.
have lots
effect
of practice.
on his
Yeah,
hair.
I know.
Yeah, I'll have it. Well, he's supposed to be wielding electricity in his hand.
Ooh,
That's why
nice.
his hand is posed that way. So his hair, I'll just have it all flowing over his body, and his hair will also be
He's saying,
standing up.
"Eat lightning, fart cloud."
But did you actually
Exactly
think the
what I'm
character's name was Fart? Can you please hit
No.
got it, Narwhal? You're driving. This is driving.
Don't
me
leave it
insane
that.
now.
Leave it there forever, please. No. I know. Okay, it's like with Gaylord Lightning. As soon as I heard Dark Cloud, I was like, why? It just sounds like fart
No,
cloud.
Phill. I want to appreciate. I mean, Phill.
You
Even
were-
though it was for the best, that it was absolutely Galvanite is a better name. Phill was a original supporter of Lord Lightning, and then he walked back his stance.
No, I think they're both cool. I think you should do an arc where it's like a future, like maybe like it's a future story, and he's like a full-grown adult. Maybe he's got gray hair, total badass, and that's
Still
when he's
wearing
Lord-
the
That's
cycling
Lord
helmet.
Lightning.
No,
Still
that's
wearing
when he's Lord
the,
Lightning.
Here's
the
the
special needs helmet.
Or you do a thing where like
He was good. He got a
him from
brain
the
injury,
future,
and now he wears the helmet.
he comes
I'm
back,
Lord Lightning.
comes back
Does
in
it?
time, and he's Lord Lightning. All right, never mind.
He
Yeah,
took
yeah,
a few
there's like-
too many
there's a-
lightning bolts
there's
to
a-
the brain.
Jake, there's like a failed cloning, and he has to wear the special helmet. Lightning.
My name
Yeah,
is Johnny Flesh.
They'll sell comics.
It's not too late to make that happen.
No, but Phill, you're a Lord Lightning appreciator, and I always remember that. You check.
Yeah, I'm just not as a kid. He should be an adult as Lord Lightning.
Well, I
because
agree.
of
Yeah,
some gravitas. And
I just thought it would be something a kid would come, which makes sense why Rini didn't say anything about it in the script, because I guess
I thought it was a joke.
yeah.
I thought it was
You
meant to be
it-
silly.
Why
Is
the
his-
kid who came up with it?
Is his real name Gavin Knight?
Yeah, that's
Galvin.
great. Gavin,
Yeah.
is his real name Gavin?
His name's
Yeah.
Miles because he runs fast.
Oh my god.
So he's
Oh yeah,
just
Miles Hanksley. I like
Hanks-
miles
Hanksley.
per.
It was
per
originally
hour.
Josh Hanksley. Yeah, I
It's-
know.
No,
I know,
Miles is
Jake,
better than
I
Josh.
know.
You
His
named
name's
your character
Gavin.
after fucking Tales from
No, I
Sonic the
didn't.
Hedgehog.
No, I didn't. That's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. Jake. I know you would know Sonic. Jake, were you? I was a Sonic fan too when I was little. Actually,
Well, you're British, so
What does that have to do
with Wait. Oh,
Americans
so
loved Mario and British people loved Sonic.
You're
What do you mean?
British?
Is that
Yes,
how
that
it
was-
works?
Yeah.
hell?
So Mario is super popular in America, whereas
That's
the inverse
insane.
over here is Sonic is more popular in the UK.
really? I didn't know that.
So
Wait,
it's your
then how have
heritage,
they
it's your
been-
birthright to be a Sonic.
I guess that does
Uh,
make sense because I didn't really. So, because then how have they been dealing with Sonic not having good games for like 20 years? Are they okay?
You just play the bad ones and suck it up.
I have
just-
been. I grew up on them, and then I started playing them when I was older, and I was like, these are bad. Like,
I didn't know
I
you
haven't
were
played it.
British.
I haven't played a Sonic game.
Yeah, I was born in
since
London, Phil.
a long
That's why I had so
time.
much disdain for you.
All right.
Is that
So
another
is
one of the villains?
Lord-
Disdain.
Lord Lightning is
No.
not even in the book. Is this true?
No, actually, I'm going to show you this because Creative Block actually influenced the book. There is a Creative Block little reference in Phenomenova. I'm going to pull
Is
it up.
there?
Because
Please take
but wait,
Is it
because
all
you
of-
changed
is it all
you
of his
changed
shadow?
Lord Lightning to Galvanite.
Oh, I should make you guys all dead and want to. No, I'm kidding.
In a ditch. Yes, it
I
is.
say nothing less.
Vaughn, Galvanite was Lord Lightning, but now it's Galvanite. Is
Now
this
it's
true?
Galvanite.
So
but
there is no Lord Lightning.
Well, ready? Here we go. So I'm going to share this real quick. See, or maybe I won't share the.
Yeah,
full-
you got to
do
find
the
a way to
thing?
get some Lord Lightning back in there.
No, it is. It is. Ready?
Does he do
Yeah.
it as a
When he's
Uh,
older, he turns
what if
into
it's
Lord.
Lord Lightning?
Upgrades.
They're like, oh, that's dumb.
So there's a montage sequence where he has rejected names. And
Fixing his names.
Well,
And
it's one of
so-
his
Oh,
rejected
yeah,
names,
yeah,
creative
nice.
block.
no, it's just a reference to that.
Is one of the
Oh, okay.
is one of them fart cloud?
Lord Lightning.
No, that's not a thing, Jake. You
Storm
just
Bell.
made that up.
Storm Bell?
At no point in production was that ever.
Storm
Why is Johnny Volt not there?
Thunder.
Aw.
Thunder
Because
That was
'Cause
my
I-
favorite one, Johnny.
I
Volt.
never-
Volt.
Who
Volt was a good name. I think
that
Volt.
was right. That was
Lightning.
for Phil. For Phil, I wanted to put Volt in there.
Terra Volta.
Vaughn,
Kid Bolt.
is this your process when you're brainstorming? Do you write stuff,
yes.
then cross out, then star?
I wish. All right, I wish. Yes, actually, I sent him. So this is what I would do. I have so many extra lightning names like Stormbearer, Stormbringer, Thunderbringer.
Stormfront.
No.
Electrocock.
Chad Thunder.
Galvanite's pretty good. Now that you mention it, but I missed Lord Lightning. Should have just committed.
Yeah, Lord Lightning.
Dude, after that public
it back.
humiliation,
Lord Lightning's a really good name. I don't know why you didn't stick with that.
Vaughn.
Don't listen to him.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, I
Vaughn,
changed my
Vaughn,
mind.
Just do
Vaughn,
the opposite of
Vaughn.
what Jake says.
Vaughn, do you remember the Justice League Unlimited episode when they go into the future and they see like old Static Shock? He's an old
Yes, you want
man.
that to be Lord
And
Lightning.
then Hawk Girl's black son, who's like the new Hawk Man.
Yeah, Warhawk.
Warhawk. Yeah, you should do that with old Galvanite as Lord Lightning.
Oh, he meets him.
Badass.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
totally do that.
right,
I've thought of that. Like, I would love to.
I thought of that.
No, I've thought of this before. I wasn't gonna call him Lord Lightning, but maybe I will.
Timestamp it. I thought of it.
This is reminding me.
I'll
Because
remember.
I've been
I've
putting
had
together
this-
the because I've been putting together the Connell preview book. I went for a bunch of old shit, and I actually I remembered an old name that instead of Connell the Barbarian, he had a different name. At one point, he could have just been called Fuckules.
That's not even.
Fuck you, Lees! Okay, you can't top that. At least whenever you have a bad name, just remember Jake had fuck you, Lees.
Yeah, that's fine.
I found a bit of paper, and it was a drawing of him, and it said "Fuck the Adventures of Fuckules."
That's not
Wait,
even.
wait. Jake,
That's terrible.
Jake, you know what you could do? You could do like a version where Carnal like meets the dark version of himself, like in a cave, you know, and has to confront his shadow. And it's like, fuck you, Lees.
What is it? It's the trials, right? He could do like the 8 trials of Fuckules.
But
That sounds like actually a
Labors, the
funny.
labors, right? The 8 labors.
Wait,
He has to fuck
wait,
all
he
the
has a
badass
harem. Is it secretly still a fuck you, Lees character? And he just had like 8 trials of hoes?
Yeah,
Because it's like
yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim's, all her
undercover.
exes, but
Hercules.
it's like all kinds of weird hoes in your fantasy world.
Labors. He's
Yeah,
got a
to
bang
fuck
Yeah,
the
he's
eight
got a
god- the
harem.
eight queen
Just like
goddesses.
serial hoe buster.
Hercules.
Hercules.
But yeah,
You should have a Hercules
at one point
character.
it was a toss up between Connell the Barbarian and Fuckules.
That kind of reminds me, this is kind of barely related, but Aldous, who's a good guy around the streams and stuff, he was telling me I gotta watch Pink Flamingos, which is this crazy old movie from who directed it? It's a famous director too.
Sounds old.
Crap, I have it right here. Oh yeah, it's John Waters.
I was
and
going to say
John Waters.
Johnny Directestein. So
He's a famous gay guy, I'm pretty sure, from like the 70s when it was still kind of dangerous to be gay or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Jake
And,
probably knows who he is.
And yeah, and he made this movie, Pink Flamingos, that stars Divine, who's I don't know if she's trans.
It's too
or
easy
what,
to be gay
in the
now.
70s, but she's really fat, half head shaved, balding. You can't tell she's a dude or a chick, but I think she's a chick. And she's
Wait,
like
what are we
super
Ooh,
gross.
danger
horrible.
zone.
Yeah, but the movie starts and you hear John Waters' voice and he's like, "In this trailer lives the filthiest person alive, Divine. But she was outed by the local police, like by the local papers, and has had to go into hiding in this trailer. Let's take a look inside." And then it cuts inside.
Is that the big fat woman?
Yeah. Or she's not huge, but yeah, she's like big. It was the best beginning to a movie I've ever seen. It was so good. I didn't get all the way through it in one sitting, but
I will never watch it.
yeah. Well, I've told you the best part now. So the beginning is so funny. The filthiest
Okay,
person
so
alive.
go watch it.
That's like she's like a superhero, and she's the filthiest person. And then there's these other perverts that they want to be the filthiest person, so they hate Divine, and that's kind of funny. They keep like a baby farm in their basement. They have women chained up that are giving
Baby?
birth, and
Yeah.
they steal the babies.
As you
What?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But it's-
normal.
I always confuse
Oh.
her with the big fat woman from Orgasmo, where they just do like Cartman voice for the woman.
I'm gonna read X-Men.
Oh
They-
yeah.
There's like a woman fucking.
What
but
issue
then
are
they-
you on, Phil?
116.
Oh, that's a good one.
Is it?
I like
Yeah,
how.
let
we
me
just-
guess. Let me see if I can get. I was just responding to Phil. I'm sorry.
It's too easy to be gay
Ron
now.
just
It's not
decided to
risky
change-
enough. It's
Yeah, let me see if I
boring.
can guess off the top of
What
my
issue
head.
is it?
16.
Don't
So
do the- don't do the
henceforth,
Zach where
you
you
are
secretly look
deciding
it
to
up.
be.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to be a Zach.
He's looking through the library of his mind.
Yeah. Okay. So one.
He's like a
110.
mentalist from 1998.
Wait a minute.
Oops. Sorry, I meant to make you big.
So I'm
Kick off,
111. 111 was the circus issue. So 110 would have been when they're in the volcano. But I think that
I'm
comes.
so
Don't fuck up,
glad I-
Busy. You're all your nerd creds are
115.
balancing on this one moment. You better
115.
remember.
It
You
was
better
so
one of the-
glad
remember.
I don't
was one of
care
the-
less about
Remember.
superheroes.
It was one of the
Remember.
Savage. It was in the Savage Land, if my memory serves. Let's pull
Are
up
you
this-
acting right
Right.
now, or is this who you actually are when you
This
think?
is me when I'm. No,
This
I'm
is
trying to
him
guess.
as an actual human
All right,
being.
let me see. Uncanny X-Men 116. I think it was a
I
Savage
got
Land
it
issue.
here. Yeah, it's when they're leaving.
Sauron?
Savage
Or is it-
Land.
Wrong. That's not a superhero.
Here you go.
What?
That's a Lord of the Rings character.
Pull it
No,
up.
Savage Land is a land, Jake. It's not a character.
No, he said Sauron. Yeah, Sauron's a character.
Sauron is an X-Men character.
Yeah, this is after they fought Sauron. And
this is-
they're exiting the
Is
Savage.
this that line when they're like, "You could cure cancer"? I don't want to cure cancer.
No, that was.
dinosaurs,
No, but that is the same character, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a Fuckules in the Marvel universe?
Yes.
No, there's no one would be stupid enough to publish that character but you.
I wasn't even that stupid. I went
Yeah,
with
exactly,
a
that's what I'm
different name,
saying.
and I
Yeah,
definitely didn't.
Colossus.
No, I
Yeah.
think you should
Yeah.
definitely still
No,
do
he's
a
just doing
fucking
Redskin, Jake.
Phil would have told me Fuckules was a good idea.
No, I think you could still use it in some way. You know.
I will still use it in some way, but yeah, the Trials of Fuckules.
Yeah, I think the 8 labors of Fuckules would be great.
You need to team up with Odin and do just like a Fuckules or like Hocules and all the fucking historical characters and
Succules.
fucked up raunchy versions.
Succules
Yeah.
is gay Hercules.
Oh no.
Like Slutgamemnon and shit.
Wait,
Oh,
Hercules.
God.
Hercules in the Marvel universe is gay currently, right?
Well, no, current. I think that's like the old
Isn't
man
every
Logan
single
version.
character in the Marvel universe currently gay?
Basically.
No. Just
No, they-
Hercules.
They're all
He's
gay.
gay
Just
with
the men.
he's gay with the first mutant, right?
No, he's gay with. I thought he was gay with Wolverine in an alternate timeline.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I
That
hate
was-
superheroes.
I swear, whoever came up with these ideas just went to Comic Cat and was like, "Ooh, let's make that."
No, you know who came up with that
actually
idea?
Marvel."
Actually, making Hercules gay with Wolverine. It was Mark Millar. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
all superheroes
So-
are gay.
Yeah.
So you're Narwhal's boy.
I never trusted a Scotsman.
I-
Damn
Yeah.
Scott.
But yeah, no, it's Colossus is also gay in the Ultimate Universe.
Who?
Colossus, they made him gay in the Ultimate Comics.
Really?
Yes.
There are no gay Russians. They're not allowed.
Well, there are a lot of gay
What?
communists, so you know.
Are we in the second half? I feel like we're
Henry-
definitely in the
we've been-
second half.
Been in the
Ever
second
since
half.
one
I
got
don't
here, we've
run
been in
the
the second
show.
half. Henry
I was
Bemis
ready
says-
to talk.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Narwhal for clarification.
No,
dummy.
Yeah, this is definitely the second half. We
Yeah,
can,
I got
should
no
maybe-
indication. That's
We
why
should
I was,
play a video. Let me see if I got anything.
I was just
Yeah.
following the conversation.
Play Phil's funeral march again.
I missed it.
I think we can talk over this a little bit. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Henry Bemis says
Well, I thought the
Chris
point-
Claremont created Fuckules in X-Men 147. Sorry, Jake. Well, there you go.
Shit.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like
I have
chipping.
to believe that fact.
147
It'll get too loud.
was-
It's hot in here.
Rest
It's
in
hot.
peace, Phil.
hot.
It was a good
147.
run.
Alex,
Hardly knew.
Alex, give us the meme so I can go to fucking bed.
They'd begun climbing at
Ryan Blue
dawn,
Thunders.
led by Khazar, the lord of
Ralph,
the Savage Land, and with each passing hour, the air had gotten colder, the winds more bitter. It had snowed twice a day, and the mountain trails were ice-coated and treacherous. Effort to remember that only days before, in parts of a verdant, prehistoric jungle.
Too loud.
Here's the
now.
epic part. It's so epic.
This is some type of music.
Yeah. The person playing the organ has an erection at this point.
This is like they're dead, but they're going to heaven.
Right.
Well, it's ambiguous. It could be heaven or hell because it's kind of like good, but also sounds a bit doomy. You know what I mean?
Our journey is ended, X-Men. Beyond
This is like some
Christ-damned destination.
this is some
Oh.
Paradise Lost shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Well,
gets darker as well. I didn't notice that.
Phil, I think
Yeah,
Wolverine
The
killed someone
light
in that
drains
issue.
out of it.
Well done, kid.
I
and
can
then-
see what you guys are doing. I don't know if you guys know that because I'm the host or whatever.
I'm trying.
You can see me.
Yeah,
Pouring
everyone's
another
You
pouring
can see my
drinks.
dick? You can see my
I'm
dick right
pouring.
now?
I'm the only one pouring drinks.
I didn't mean to
that's
show off.
new.
I'm gonna grab
I'll put
another
my
drink.
shirt back on. Sorry.
1 second.
Behold, my friend.
Who's picking their nose? Quick, tell us.
That's not a nose.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! I don't want to.
Oh, it ended. When you
It's
least
over.
expect
Reading
it.
some
R.I. Phill. R.I.P.H.I.L.L.
Oh my God, chat. You guys forget Cuntacles, Oralpheus, Coetusius.
There
This
is
needs to happen.
Coitusius.
Oh, no. You need to team up with Odin and do like a
Ophelia?
spin-off version. Yeah, like a one-shot that's
The
just
handsy one,
ancient
Mom.
historical characters but raunchy.
Today I was designing one of the gods for the first time. There is a god that like Connell has a link to, and I was designing her today.
Guys, why
And-
did get so many
Odysseus!
Sign up if for
Yo!
Connell Barbarian.
That would make a really good raunchy version of this story. Okay,
Oh, Dickius.
sign
Yeah,
up
they
for
just get on a
Connell.
boat and
Oh,
fuck.
Dickie is.
Yeah. Mhm.
There we go.
Anyways,
Oh,
Phenomenova.
I didn't realize you were
Yeah.
sharing my screen, Narwhal. I thought you were sharing it. Who's sharing it? Am I sharing it? Or should I
I
thought
guess-
you were sharing
I
it?
guess not
Yeah,
anymore. I
yeah.
guess we're looking at X-Men.
Vaughn,
I mean, I'm happy with-
Are you watching the X-Men show?
I'm gonna start soon. I hadn't yet.
All right.
Because they didn't
Camel
have-
says it's shit, so I believe Camel.
Yeah, Camel. I don't believe Camel.
Listen, I'll have
Hashtag
to watch
believe
it for myself. I do like that they're covering a lot of Claremont arcs. Like they're doing Trial of Magneto.
Inferno.
All Asians love wordplay. This is one of the things you have to know about Irene.
Asians?
Wait, what? What?
You're laughing at the chat's wordplay suggestions, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, all Asians love puns.
I
and
didn't know
wordplay.
this was a stereotype.
It
Wait,
is?
What?
It is.
What is a stereotype? I'm
The
falling
Asians
behind.
Asians love pun humor and wordplay.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know if it's all Asians. Okay, but Chinese pun humor is great because Chinese has a lot of homophones, not homophobes. Homophones, which means the same sound. can be
Homophones. We call them
multiple words.
homophones.
Okay, homophones, not homophones, right? Homophones. And so the same sound could be
Homophobes.
multiple different words. So there's a ton of puns, and there's like, oh, I have fond memories of such hilarious things. Like, there's like Jay Chow. Nobody here is gonna know these references.
Jay
There's
Chow.
some-
You made
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, Jay Chow.
the J Chow.
No, the fuck you haven't. Shut up.
Lives
Well,
down the
he's like a
street.
famous songwriter, but he has it's like this really famous soft ballad song, and it's like this love song. But because the singer, he's known for mumbling his words, there's this really famous version that's just like completely raunchy. Every line of this super soft, lovely ballad is turned into like a bedroom scene. and you can do that with Chinese. That's how the language works. So I do love wordplay humor. It's so much fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
They kind of have
Nobody
an
cares.
American. They have an
Lee
American
Chow,
version of that a little
I'm
bit.
a big fan of his song Gi Qian.
And Lan
Yeah.
Ting Zhu. Those
Oh,
are my
that's awesome.
Why don't
favorites.
you shut? Why don't you shut the fuck up?
I'm a big fan. I'm just supporting you.
Let's get some kick Vaughns in the chat.
Wait. What's it called? Karaoke. Yeah. So there's a karaoke version in America. You can get like versions where they change the lyrics to be raunchy, and some of them are pretty funny. But there was
Yeah,
one
parody song.
Yeah, I guess. But there's this like it was at this bar, and this lady, and she could do this one song. She did it every week. She's like 60 years old, pretty gross, and that's what made it extra funny. She's a gross old lady. But it's the song where it's like, "Hit me with your best shot, come on and hit me with your best shot."
Pat
But she
Benatar.
changed it to,
Benatar.
"Come on and hit me in my wet spot. Come on, you hit me in my wet spot," something like that.
Oh, that's great.
Mm.
No,
Women are
Chinese
foul.
humor is very, very raunchy.
Oh,
All
no.
women are foul. Yeah, you're correct. All of us.
Oh. So anyway,
Testicules.
this is my my comic here. I don't know if I didn't want to divert from Chinese sex humor, but
No, continue.
so
That's
we got
what
the
this
Rini
is.
cover here, and then we got these two here, and we.
I'm
Just
gonna hide a
went-
sex joke in your cover now.
Let's see.
I'll have to give you. I'll have to be like, nope.
Put a
maybe
Rini, put a penis keychain in there.
I can surely do that.
in the nuclear reactor. No, but it's been great. We just crossed 10K earlier today, so that,
Yeah, that's awesome, Vaughn.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congrats! That's
That's good
awesome.
numbers.
so
Yeah.
going good.
Slowly going up.
I
Slowly
do
but
love
steadily.
it. Yeah, no, it's been a weird. There was one day I remember my first day where I got 0 because like I had been getting. It was like as long as I get 1 every day, and then
Yeah.
there was like one day where I didn't, and I was like, no, I've lost it. But then the next day I was like, oh, I'm okay. But
Let
it
me
was
know
weird.
when you got another
Yeah,
0
my
day.
mojo.
Yeah, don't
Another-
fall into the trap of just keep checking it all the time.
I
Like
keep
it'll
doing
come
that, I
and
know.
go. You'll
It's a
have like
trap.
a sink in the middle, and then it's the beginning and the end. It's like a bow,
Yeah.
like that.
No,
you-
sometimes I am. I'm like, no, I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm like, it's not gonna
No.
change in
You
3
need to
seconds.
check it once every hour, and then if you don't get anything in a day, you need to go for a really long walk in the rain and like look off into the distance and just like have the expression on your face as if it's all falling apart.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
like
and
all
make sure-
gone.
While you're walking, you're constantly looking up with your mouth open so you can catch as much rain as possible. You might drown that way as well.
And like kind of close your eyes a little bit.
yeah.
My favorite,
I don't know today.
explaining crowdfunding to people, or even it's not even. It's really more of just like a pre-order campaign, honestly, because the book is like funded. But it's especially now. But it's like, it's great, but it's so tiresome because I designed it to be as simple as possible, and then there are people that are still like, I don't get it, and so I've had to have so many like explaining.
You're laughing at Pegasus.
Shut up!
Oh, that's
Pegasus, that's
Sorry.
I'm trying to. I'm not trying to not.
Vaughn, are you coming on my show tomorrow?
yes.
Yes.
Nice.
I'll be on the.
By the way,
DS.
there's 40 people watching, so I'm curious if people don't. It's good if people haven't seen this. That it just means we're
Yeah, check
getting
it out.
extra eyes on it.
Yeah.
And this is the one. I feel like I can pitch your book better than you, Vaughn. But let me give it a shot real fast.
Do it.
This is the one. Vaughn is the young gun. He is the big up and comer. He is our hopes and dreams, and this is his first
Yes.
book. So we take great pleasure in supporting him.
Yes. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
and the book sounds great. A lot of us have read it. We can see the art.
You've read it?
No, I just said a lot of
He
us.
said a lot of us.
So like what I read? I
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
There's me, as in me, us as in one person.
I read the first few pages. Of
Yeah,
this
Phil
book.
gave great feedback actually in the first few pages. Like genuinely, because the first few pages I revised so much. Anyway, sorry, continue.
I said this was trash, and I stopped reading it.
I don't
But
think
on
I
top
like
of
it.
that-
with Lord Lightning.
But then you
Um,
made a lot of changes, so it's good now.
I preemptively didn't read it.
Yeah. And so Vaughn's jumping into the game as young guns do from time to time with a little bit of what we call it, like he's got like some shit to say, and so he's got some ideas, and a lot of it is bringing back classic superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, you can't have it be. Speaking of what we're talking about tonight, suspension of disbelief. It's this dude. It's out of the frying pan into the fryer. This dude's gonna get this shit handed to him if he tries to play in the big leagues.
Wait,
So,
Rini, was this subconsciously you projecting your anger onto me by having the blonde kid about to get beat up?
Yes.
Huh?
You should have drawn him actually beaten up.
I'm just wondering.
He's gonna have a
No,
handful of
but
lightning.
I can.
No,
if
you don't have
want
to.
him
No, I didn't want you
be
to. I was
getting-
just wondering if that was subconscious.
He's gonna be fine. He's got the helmet.
Well,
Yeah,
not
that'll
anymore.
totally
She's
protect
removing it.
him. No, I was trying to draw you a good cover because
No, it's a
your
great
main,
cover.
It
Great
should
cover.
look like your main character is facing an unsurmountable challenge.
No, I'm kidding. I love it. I'm just messing with you. I'm just
Biggest
Yeah,
messing
you
with
better.
Yeah.
That was
no,
what this what Narwhal said is absolutely correct. This is you can tell this is a return to form for superhero
Mhm.
comics, and I love that about it. And I know I'm not even a superhero person. I don't particularly like reading superheroes. It's just not my genre, and I understand the appeal, but I think this really has legs. This is going to go somewhere, and this is a really good issue. Back this and get my
Thank you.
cover.
No, honestly,
Do
your
it.
quote,
Yeah,
your
cover.
quote, and your feedback like that genuinely, especially because I know you had worked at Marvel, and I mean, to be fair, they didn't do a great job convincing you superheroes was good. So it was like that genuinely meant something, knowing that you didn't grow up with superheroes and still liked it. Because honestly, my generation, like, there's MCU fans, but there's not a lot of comic fans in my generation, and like sales numbers prove that. Like.
That's true.
Even Dan DiDio, when he was in the Pop XP, said that they lost a generation of readers. Like, even when I came into comics, I was so confused by what was on the stands that I just went to the older stuff. And I wanted to. I always say this, and I think Jake, I remember saying he didn't care about my comic until I gave this pitch, that it was like in an age of deconstruction, that this is a reconstruction, reconstitution of superheroes and the values in it.
Yeah, it was a good way of looking at it.
Because that was what I wanted to do. Phill is breathing very heavily, or is that Jake?
That's not me.
Oh, it's Jake.
I'm
But
not breathing. Don't accuse me of breathing.
okay.
Yeah, we don't.
But
breathe.
just hold your breath and don't breathe.
I
Feel happier.
I got
Phill,
this-
by the way, I read the Lost Pages last night. Very good stuff.
You enjoyed it?
Nice.
You
Yeah.
found them?
Wait, what
They've
was
been lost for so long.
Vaughn? What would you say is your favorite part of the Lost Pages?
My favorite part of
Lost
Ice
Pages
Song. I like when his powers got revealed.
I thought Irene was going to ask me that about Clint's book last night. She's like, "What's your favorite part?" And I was like, "Oh no, she's going to troll us." But then she's like, "About the writing process or something, about creating."
I should have done that. I should have been like, "So, what was your favorite panel?"
Vaughn,
Honestly,
You both have to
Phil,
answer
what was your favorite
this.
part?
Yeah, I'm
Vaughn?
telling
You're
you. I'm
avoiding
thinking. I was
the question.
thinking. No, I wasn't talking over the people on panel, Phil.
You didn't actually read it.
I did. My favorite part, honestly, I liked when Pineapple had shown up.
That's a spoiler. I mean, no one knows what you're talking
You
about.
asked me my favorite part.
Phil laughed
Phil.
with glee. That was nice. That was a
That's
nice
hilarious.
moment.
That was
Yeah.
my favorite because it was actually like a genuinely touching moment. You know what I'm talking?
That's
Good
cool.
to see Phil happy again.
That's cool.
after everything.
Yeah, I thought that may have been too silly for people, but
No, I liked
You
it
enjoyed
because
that.
it was like I thought it was really well written, and I know Vaughn likes the front
Oh
cover.
my god.
I like the back cover. I
the
did
credits
read
page.
it. I
That's
liked.
awesome.
I also
Good
liked Dan Dahl's art. I liked Shelby's. Wait, did Shelby just ink the cover, or did he?
Shelby did the back cover of the Bisley book.
Okay, I got the Dan Dahl cover.
Oh, okay. He inked that cover, as well.
He lives
Don't
up
worry,
to
Phil.
his
I
initials.
promise you I won't read it.
Dan Dahl draws great breasts. I will say he does a very good job. I liked honestly the silhouette stuff. I want to see more of Matt Black and Silhouette together. They had really good chemistry. But yeah, I really like Lost Pages. So far we've got all hits this year. I mean, I've read Fiendish 2, 6.5 before Jake ruins it with the colors. I've read.
You haven't
Those
seen the
colors-
colored version?
Those colors look fucking awesome.
I'm kidding, Jake, I'm
I looked
fucking
back
with
at
Those are
you.
them.
good colors.
Whilst I was doing them, I was like, I don't know if I'm doing a good enough job. And then looked back at them, I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, dude.
But then you'll have that crisis moment where you see it printed and you're like, oh no!
She
it's
still hasn't shown me
it's
it.
horrible."
She still hasn't shown me it.
Oh
Printed.
no.
I
No,
flipped through some pages on the stream you slept through, so.
it was great though, honestly. Venus, you
My bad.
I've read
I'll-
3 of your
I'll show
books
you
this
soon.
year, and then Cardinal I haven't read since the last time you sent me something, Jake. But all of your books look
so
good.
much better now. Thank you.
Oh, is it?
It's-
I'd love to read it for proof.
Hey,
See,
you
I
know,
don't believe
you could buy the preview book that I'm printing in at Heroes Con
Do you
in
accept
like a
Monopoly
month's
money?
time.
When are you doing the pre?
No.
Like when can I buy it? Because I'm not going
Well,
here. Con.
You're not going to Heroes? Okay.
Yeah, like as of today, I finished putting it together and like uploaded all the print files to mix them. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to launch the campaign, but yeah, I've been doing a little preview book for Connell. It's got like all the character designs in it, the first 15 pages of rough pencils and like some layouts and stuff. It's like 64 pages.
That's
this
insane.
book. It's
That's
like it's
insane.
not nothing. There's a bunch of
Are you-
fan art. Phil drew something.
Where are you having them printed? Are you having them printed by you and then traveling with them, or are you having them printed in the U.S. and then someone?
I think I'll have them printed here because I'm taking 50 with me to the convention, and then I'm having 50 I'll leave here to put on the campaign.
Oh.
What? That's awesome. Oh,
No, sure, that makes sense.
Someone said, "Wow."
do you think I should have them done in America?
No, it's just traveling with that many books is. Oh, I hate flying with that many books, but if you have to, you have to.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't have to bring all 50. I'm pretty sure I won't sell all 50 at the con, but
No?
Never know.
like I also put the keychains into production,
Nice
so they're gonna look fucking amazing. I
keychain.
I ended up using the same service that I used last time, and I'm getting the blue Dick X keychain. It's gonna have glitter paint. It's gonna have the blood screen printed over the top, and the keychain element. I managed to get them to source. I can use the exact same keychain element that they use on Lego key rings. You know the little Lego minifigures?
He was really, really excited about
You're
this.
gonna have
guys.
to show an example.
You see these little
Yeah.
Lego key rings? Look at these guys.
Oh my god, Lego
look.
earrings!
at the
Wow.
So,
Dude, those are actually cool, Rini. Jake,
look.
I never side with Jake on anything, but I'm going to side with Jake
Look.
on this.
so
Why is
you'll
this so
get
cool?
Well, you
this
can stop
flat,
right now.
You'll get this flat ring element. You'll
Yeah.
get this length of chain, and
Mhm.
like it's the slightly flattened chain, super quality, and it'll be like a 5 centimeter blue Dick X enamel pin in
Only
glitter.
5 centimeters. That's small.
That's so
What?
good. I can't wait. For
Isn't
that.
it should be 20 centimeters, and I should have to put it in my whole pocket and rip my trousers whenever I want to open a bottle with it. I think you
I'm
might even be
glad
able to
you
use it as a
put-
bottle opener.
Next word.
Glad he put the keychains into production. That's cool.
Whoa.
That's really cool.
Yay.
I'll
I
have
had to
some of
stop
those with me.
myself from making merch, but like it's honestly, I can't wait to do all of that stuff. But the keychain is really cool.
Putting physical products into production is
It's
fucking,
so
it's a
much
good
fun.
it's such a good feeling.
Oh, is it? All right, I can't wait to do it. Speaking of, there will be this mini print comes with, this is a Fun My Comic exclusive mini print, comes free with every order. And if you want an additional one, it's $3. It's done by my buddy Zach.
Zach.
Here's the whole creative team right here. You got everyone here. That was a lot. This is honestly fun, just doing that.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, well, it's because when you break it down, it's just like the artist, the colorist, letterer, editors, and then it's just there was a point where like it was taking so long to get to the pages, and it's like, all right, do we want to go through all these designs? And I asked my artist, he was like, he had already designed these two, and he was like, all right, I was like, do you want me to just get someone else to design these so you can start on the pages? He's like, yeah. So I had someone else design these two. Kayla recommended him to me. He was great. But this is good. And if we hit 15K, guys, this comes in as a mini print. this is still, I think, the most beloved piece.
Good page.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sick, dude. It's insane.
I remember when I was writing that, like, he just gave me the thumbnail, and it was so much cooler than what I had in mind.
Nice.
And I was like, all right. So I would love to do that World War III prequel limited series. And honestly, everyone here helped. Rini gave me some feedback that led to this. Like, she suggested Silicon Valley get nuked. I don't know what they did to her, but
It was the most logical
Hmm.
place to strike.
no, I know.
Silicon.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I won't spoil who, but I will say, so Phenomenova obviously is not the name of the main character. That will be the name of the team he joins. But before the team is going to be trained, and Miles will be trained by one of these heroes here. I won't spoil who, but
It's the people.
not the. What do you? Oh, you think that?
People. Kid people. He's
No,
gonna be-
that is Boom Boy is his name.
Oh my god.
So he is the world's first teenage superhero. He
That's not
shoots
bad.
explosive
Why don't you just name
energy.
him Bomb Pop?
No, listen.
Boom Boy's cool.
Boom Boy is meant is so he you know, like fighters, they'll like shout when they do it. He goes boom, and then he shoots energy that explodes on impact. That's his thing.
Please, yeah. Why
So,
is he
like the
Bomb
guy in My Hero Academia.
No, actually, no. You know what pissed me off is I had this idea for a while, and then that show came out, and I was watching it seething because they did so many things that were similar to what I had come up with.
These powers are not.
Wait.
There's a limited amount of powers you can give people.
A guy in his room says Coom Boy.
Coom Boy. Oh my god, dude!
Coom
I swear.
Boy, yeah,
now
my
I know
lord.
how Rini feels, honestly, because every time I say
Kumbaya.
something.
I thought Coon Boy straight away, but I was in my bed.
But you're also the creator of Carnal, the Barbarian, so that's
Yeah, it's meant to be stupid.
Boom Boy.
Sue them.
Just so you guys know, probably 15, 20 minutes will be shutting it down. Slightly
Good. Thank
shorter
God.
stream than usual. But
5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Sounds good.
Thank God.
I'm honestly surprised you're staying up this late, Narwhal. I'm very proud of you.
yeah.
So for
Yeah, why are you putting us through this?
shut up, Jake.
I'm only joking. I'm joking.
Boom Boom Boy.
So for the main cover is $20, and then everything comes with a campaign exclusive mini print. All variant covers are going to be exclusive to crowdfunding campaign. So all of them, you just choose the one you want. A lot of people actually have been getting like the 2 or 3 tier and just getting 2 Rini covers. Your cover is selling very well.
Yay!
We got
yeah.
we got all of these right here. So we got the first
like
one is
that
by
cover.
my friend Sukesha, right? Who
That
everyone is
cover's
sleeping
pretty
for.
cool.
Yeah.
I like
Everyone
the
is-
hood. I like the hood over the helmet.
Yeah, a lot of people do. The reason I didn't go with the hood for the design is because with super speed, I just didn't think it was practical because it would just
Yeah.
be flopping in the wood. So I didn't go with it. The Tard helmet is more practical. But it looks,
Yeah.
But then this one, I remember the new Final Fantasy 7 was out, and there's a scene where this blonde character's in front of a reactor, and I was like, I should do an homage cover. And Jules is a fellow nerd on that, so I was like, would you do that? And she did it, and she did great. And then of course, Rini did this one. Everyone is simping for the first cover artist. I'm noticing. Joe Sontag was like, "Who's this? Let me get her on the show." I'm like, "All right." So, yeah,
Yeah, I think Jules kicked ass too.
yeah, Jules, they all did
You guys
great.
are good covers.
Yeah, all of them did really good. You guys all killed it. All of honestly, the variants, that was one of the things. And what's funny is the order in which they came in happened to just be the order they're in the story. So like he gets the first cover, he gets struck by lightning while holding the crystal. Here's him and his powers. Here's him showing up at the reactor. Here's him in the reactor fighting the villain. And that's the order they came in. It just happened to be that they each tell part of the story. Perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The drones too, Rini. What's cool? I'm gonna have to revise later scripts to incorporate the drones into combat because that was such a cool.
Yeah, it's badass.
I'm glad I decided to I don't know how much you revealed about what his powers and stuff are, but Yeah, I'm glad you're incorporating that. I thought it looked cool.
I think
I'll
they're
reveal
related
that
to
he doesn't.
lightning.
He doesn't have no. Well, Dark Cloud doesn't have powers. So one of the things, I guess, it kind of eventually became a world building thing. Is the world has had to catch up to compete with superhumans, and so he thinks 20 years ago, if he might have been able to handle things, maybe not super well, but with powers. But now it's like, okay, just because you have powers isn't enough, because now you're seeing people are trying to catch up with technology, and so criminals have had to step up their game to pull off heists, especially knowing there are superhumans around.
Does Dark Cloud want to build a giant thing that blocks the sun
Snowman.
over the town?
What?
Snowman.
Is that was his master plan? He wants to build a giant dish
No.
to block out the
Snowman.
sun?
No. Why would that be your plan, Jake?
Well, because he's making a dark cloud to block
Oh.
the sun, like Mr. Burns.
I didn't think of that. All right, no, he doesn't.
But just
Does he eventually, because he's like got a robot suit and he's like got energy and stuff, does he manage to just suck all of the
parts?
helmet guy's lightning away? He's like, I'm gonna put you in a generator and prison you forever to power all of my
Uses them
miraculous
as a battery.
inventions.
No, but there will be a character who can do that in a later issue, who's Dark Cloud's partner. Also, you know what? I'll reveal. Thunderclap is his like right hand man.
Thunderclap. He has super venereal diseases.
Doesn't that mean something
I'm gonna
else?
give you the clap. Like he should say that.
I
What are you
thought
talking
Thunderclap meant
Do you not know what the clap is?
you might want to reconsider the name.
What do you mean?
No,
Dark Cloud is great. Thunderclap, maybe it'll grow on me.
Give him
When
the
you said
clap.
Thunderclap, I was like,
Is he
Thunderclap
jacked?
is a phrase. What are you
He
talking
should be jacked out of his mind, is he?
He's is he jacked? Yeah, he's like an older seasoned veteran.
Thunderclap.
Jacked.
And he's jacked. Yes, yes, of course.
All right,
Of course,
I would
Phil.
go with something other than clap.
You should
Thunder
his
cheeks.
catchphrase should be, I'm gonna give him the clap.
What if it's Thunder Cloud? And so it's like Dark Cloud and Thunder Cloud, and they unite to make the sky. Or something.
No, because
don't
Dark
you-
Cloud's signature thing is that he uses this cloud gas, this cloud smoke that that he can see through perfectly, but everyone else is like, oh my god, what's going on?
Can't see anything.
Thunderclap uses gauntlets.
Oh, like Shocker?
It's like a mix between Shocker and like
Space
a
Ghost.
bit of Space Ghost. Who's Space Ghost?
You know who Space Ghost is?
Space Ghost? I don't.
Nobody knows who Space Ghost is.
Fucking
Don't
Space
worry.
Ghost
Don't
Have you
worry,
considered
Vaughn.
using-
No one knows who Space Ghost is.
What?
Have you considered using like different types of clown names, like Cirrus,
Yes.
Stratus?
Yes,
Nimbus?
actually, that's a fun fact, Rini. I don't know if
Bullet
it was in the
Cloud.
draft I sent you, but all of the henchmen for Dark Cloud have different names like that: Curus, Stratus, Cumulus, Puff. Even ones like so. The first guy he beats up is
Puff.
Puff. Puff is one of them. There's
That's a block
Fog.
name, Phil.
Puff is definitely gay.
Fog,
That's canon.
Smoke. Like they all have all the henchmen have different. Instead of just giving them henchmen one, I decided to give them like all different cloud related names. So even if it doesn't mention script, at least for me,
I like that.
Gaseous Clay. You should have a black boxer one named Gaseous Clay.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude, I have a list of so many names for. It's actually really one of my favorite things to do. I have now.
You're really good at it.
I am actually, but what was frustrating was that the two names that I like were set in stone. I had to change, like, but the rest of them I think were like fairly solid. You know, I can't wait to show you guys the rest of the team members.
Gaseous Gay.
Gosh, it's gay. Good one on someone.
That was really good. That was good. No, but in here, just showing the names here, we have Madame Magnet, the Phoenix Senshi.
Does she have magnet powers?
Yes. So she's one of my favorites conceptually. She actually came up initially. She was going to be like a throwaway character, and then when I came up with her, I was like, "This is really unique." So she's like Joan of Arc meets Magneto meets Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat and Captain America all rolled into one. So she could her hat can be thrown and pulled back and also be a shield.
Nice.
She can like throw knives from her outfit, but her magnetic powers are more limited. She can just attract and repel, really.
Cool.
Then Scion, he's psychic, but he also so he could like if someone's behind cover, he could sense them there. He could just shoot them easily. He could link up the team
He has guns.
telepathically.
He's got a
Yes.
gun.
because he's in World War III. Golden Gallant. He's like the knight. I actually decided instead of doing a generic Superman like character, because there's like 5,000 of them, every universe has their generic. I was like, well, let's make him an actual knight in shining armor who's angelic, so that way he's like an impossible ideal for the main character to live up to.
Cool.
You managed to license Goldar from Power Rangers?
Oh yeah, Goldar. That's right.
Gold. Hang on, I used to grow up with Power Rangers, but I don't know.
Does Goldar have wings though?
Pound Rangers?
I said Power Rangers. I didn't say Pound Rangers.
They're dogs. The Pound Rangers. Who's the ninja?
That's something else. That's a different film, Phil.
It's a short film.
Is the ninja? The ninja reminds me of Ibuki from Street Fighter.
So that is the Phoenix Senshi. So she was she's from Japan.
You workshop that name a little bit.
Phoenix. Well, Senshi means like a female warrior.
All right, I like that.
And the Phoenix has thematic meaning. You'll understand when you get into it. And then
she dies over and over again. She just keeps dying and then coming back and then dying again.
Now,
Dick would like that.
No,
I did have wings.
Well, now I'm just gonna let you guys theorize. Then Zoberin. So I wanted her to. I don't know what the German dress is, but I was like, I want that mixed with a witch's outfit. So she's a sorceress. I felt like in World War III, Germany needed a bit of a redemption arc. So I wanted to have the German on the team.
You give him an inch. Give him an inch. He'll take a mile. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
No. And then
watch
of course,
her.
That is true.
Aryan.
Then yeah, she was gonna be blonde still. Then of course, Boom Boy, the first teenage. Well, she was a teenager at first too, but he's like the kid sidekick of the group, kind of. And there were more that were fought in World War III.
He's like male. He's like the male America Chavez.
Oh my! You should
definitely sell it like that as well. You should.
You've offended the Germans in the chat. That does not look like a Drindle.
It looks like a barmaid.
It's that mixed. That's what it is. Yeah, it looks like it's that mixed with the witch's outfit. So it's that's the name of that outfit.
Wait, don't you spin a Drindle? What's that?
No, that's a dreidel, Phil.
No,
I am like a beer maid and put all of the witch. I can make the beer and appear from nowhere from my witch powers.
It's what Germans used to wear. Their traditional dresses.
Lederhosen. So yeah,
I can pull a bratwurst from out of nowhere in particular.
I mean, technically, because she has magic powers, she could do that.
Look, I definitely pulled it out of thin air. No one else.
Seems OP.
It's the worst accent.
It's the most authentic German accent ever.
James is
it's a caterpillar from a bug's life. I'm a beautiful butterfly.
That's good.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You do incredibly well as well, Warren.
I know. I'm honestly
so well.
It's I always wondered because I'd watch campaigns and I just realized there's no exact because everyone's like, oh, you make most in your first day, and that's obviously not the case. But I did well on my first day, and then it was the next day. I knew I was going to schedule the next day because I knew people were just not going to understand how crowdfunding works. So the next day was just me basically explaining to people that it is up. And it's really weird. It's like my sign-up list went up, but a lot of the people that backed were not on my sign-up list.
That happens. It's like a portion, only a portion, a minority of your sign-up list will back the buck.
That's why it's so important to have
send out
a
few email blasts, but yeah, you're not going to get your full sign-up list. Not even close. That's normal.
But what I'm saying is it's weird how so many, but yeah, that obviously the launch stream was successful and then it kept going and it's been good so far. And then there's so many people that say like, I'm going to back. So we'll see, especially I know people want as it gets closer. The thing is like, we are currently 40 pages have been colored and 52 have been inked. And then We have 10 of them have been lettered even. And I am gonna. One of the things I forgot is to add an issue number on the cover. So Bobby's doing a little lightning logo with a number next to it. I don't know if I sent that to you, Phil, but yeah. So we're doing that.
Is there a German villain character called
Oh.
Jack Boot?
No, do you want there to be?
Jack.
I'm
My
sure.
name is Jack Boot. I'm here to crush you under my heel.
So like, isn't
Doesn't
Baron
boot mean
Zemo German?
boat?
He seems German.
Baron Zemo, yeah, he's very German.
Yeah.
Baron Zemo.
He was
I don't wanna
in the new episode of X-Men. Spoilers.
Oh, was he?
Just for like 1 second, yeah.
Because I know there's Baron von Strucker was tied in with Magneto's past. If once you'll get to that point, that's 161. When you get to that issue.
Baron Zemo, Doctor Doom. Get a little bit of Doctor Doom in there too.
Oh, you'll get to Doctor Doom appears a few times in Claremont's run. Yeah, I mean he appears in everything.
Yeah.
TikTok challenge tonight.
TikTok?
You're TikToking?
Might start
I need-
that challenge
I
tonight.
need to
mentioned
start.
earlier.
I need to
What's that?
start.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah, I've been uploading to TikTok like every shorts. It's helpful. Hold on, there is if we scroll here, right here, so you'll see the art contest is live right now. It was weird. It was like there wasn't a lot, and then suddenly I remember the day I launched my campaign, someone goes, "Hey, I wasn't ready to get it in time." I'm like, "No, you got plenty of time," but I'm getting some submissions, some really good ones. Honestly, it's really cool. And Jules, I don't know if she's actually going to do it, but Jules, after I had commissioned her to do the cover, she's like, "Hey, can I also do the art contest?" I'm like, "You want to give me free art?" Okay. Like fine,
Yeah, maybe I'll do it.
awesome, Phil. I know.
Phil's a great artist. He's
Maybe.
got a really high quality scanner too. So if you ask him to scan artwork, it's gonna look great.
Yeah,
Definitely. Sounds about right.
I have a scanner.
Oh, you do.
You sure do.
You
Listen,
sure
I
do,
have-
Phil.
What do you mean by that?
It looks
Is
like
it
you
your-
rub fucking Vaseline all over your scanner.
You didn't say I couldn't juzz on the scanner before.
I have Phil Diaz original art.
Oh my god.
I have Phil Diaz original art.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I have all
let's
you
see.
guys in here. I have all you guys in here.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no.
that's right.
There's
Even
Phil.
me.
He tricked all of us.
Phil, Reedy proposed that for Dark Gifts channel that you and I should go head to head in a drawing contest. As
Oh, yeah,
writers.
Yeah, let's see who's
I
worse.
DM'd him, but he didn't respond to them.
I will watch the whole stream. I will referee the fucking show. It'll be great.
Gatekeepers.
Well, my thing
Out
is,
of it.
my idea is, I think we should make it a thing. I think we should do like a month before we plan it out, and then Phil and I should have training arcs, so we have people train us. We get
It won't work.
Reedy has refused to be my mentor for some reason. You know, I can't
Don't
possibly.
blame
I can't
You know,
What?
if people,
I'm a
you
lost
could
cause.
still be a sneaky mentee. That's what I do.
I should ask Billy. Oh, let's see. He'd probably be like, "I'm too busy." Who would actually
No,
realistically
you just
say
I'm
that?
they
too
don't
busy.
need to
I'm
consent.
too busy.
You know, you just
Yeah,
like,
that was
listen
a
to what they
given.
say.
So you know how I was just talking to Clint yesterday
I'll bother Andy
about
Smith.
how some people can't be taught, and that's just how it is with drawing.
Oh, I
That
know. I couldn't
applies.
even teach I couldn't even in art books learn it.
It actually is. Some people just literally cannot be fucking taught. I tried to teach someone, like, just draw a cylinder. Like, so to learn to get to drawing figures, you have to learn basic geometry, right?
Oh,
Here's a
shit.
circle and here's a square. You combine it and imagine it in 3-dimensional space. Couldn't fucking do it.
Here,
Some
share,
people just can't draw.
share this.
Irene learned that she couldn't teach a dog how to draw. In the end, then.
It was not a dog. It was a human being. Unless I'm crazy, which I am.
Look at this
but I'm pretty
masterpiece.
sure it
How
was.
could you compete with this one? You
Oh,
could
that's
never
good.
compete.
That
I'm
was
gonna have
really
fucking
good.
nightmares.
Oh, that one I saw that one. That was really good. That's Phil. That is actually like I'm scared to lose this competition now.
I'm definitely scared.
His eyes look like ball sacks.
Scanner. This is a
What do you mean?
scan.
This is by design.
Genuine
Shit
question.
language.
Genuine question. Did you aim to draw it like this, or did it just end up looking like this?
What do you mean?
Like,
Dude,
what?
Cecil is unironically a better artist than me, and that's sad.
That makes sense. No, what do you mean? The eyes, I purposely put one eye lower and one eye centered.
So you meant it to look cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it. I'm glad it was intentional.
And then the wrinkles
Um,
around the eyes, you know,
Hold
and then the darkness.
on. Is that even working? Oh, cool. Look, I'm sharing my screen as well.
Yeah, show that.
Oh shit! Hopefully it doesn't
Just
show
trash
anything.
off the screen. There you go. Yo,
Oh, here it is in the book.
dude, that's amazing.
Dude, Bancroft is so good.
I kind of feel bad for Bancroft because it has to be next to mine.
I know.
Yeah.
He has to go next to this. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. I like it's pure genius is right here. I like how the whole image it wasn't really in the scan.
Yeah,
but-
my scanner is a little too small for.
yeah. I
You
also
should've
like
just
how
taken a
blurry
picture
it
of
is.
it, honestly.
No, that's how it looks in real life. It's blurry.
Yeah, can you make Phill? Can you make Phil's a variant cover? Like, I would pay for that.
Whoa, wait, scroll up. There was a few others that looked cool. What's this?
Yeah, look. So this is Dan Plagle and Powell
Shit.
Roderick's piece. These are
Awesome.
pages from the Conan the Barbarian 64-page preview book.
Oh, damn.
64 pages. Holy
Dude, I've
Oh,
never
that
seen
Plagle
Plagles.
one is so
It's-
good.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's so
That fucking
look at
weight.
the
to
amount
it
of rend.
is
That
great.
Look
is
at the
so good.
rendering on the dong.
I
That's
mean,
so
he is
cool,
very
dude.
well practiced at drawing that
Dude,
subject
Plagle's-
matter, but
Plagle's
you
a
know, it
beast.
shows. Yeah, it's
Dude,
great.
I gotta draw. I'm available for cover work, Jake, if you're interested.
Oh, I'll be right on that.
All right, sounds good.
Ooh, Rushbrook's great too.
Yeah, Rush books are.
Rushbrook is so good. He showed me what
Yeah.
he's doing for my art contest. Like, that guy's.
Hey, speaking of Rushbrook, me and Rushbrook are going to be in Augusta, Georgia for Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day is this weekend. 2 days, this Saturday.
Yes.
Technically,
Yeah, I
like
saw
a day
that.
because it's
Looks
past
fun.
midnight. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna be in Augusta at ABX Comics or ABX Books. I forget which what's the full store name, but yeah, come find us. We'll have like some chapter 2.5 books and other stuff. It'll be fun.
Nice.
This is so cool.
FKA says should have made it a 69-page book. Yeah, okay. It is technically 68 with the cover, which is
You
as
gotta
close
do
as you can get.
69.
Well, you can't
added
do that.
another-
It's not actually
Yeah, you
possible to
can't.
do that. It has to
Just
be multiple.
You're-
people.
Literally, just like just
About the
tape
back cover.
just tape another crappy piece of paper onto the.
I'll
say
just shove it
69.
right
Books
in.
have to be multiples of 4.
But go and sign up at connellcomic.com because anyone that signs up and gets this preview book, there'll be a remark in the back of the book right here in this big
Nice.
blank square. I'll draw something there. And also you get Phil's and Bancroft's art. And I'm not going to go scroll through the whole thing because like you got to actually get the book to see all the cool shit. But yeah, it's like a ton of fucking pages. So sign up. I'll be launching it around the time of Heroes and you'll still be able to get it even though it's like a convention thing. I think I'm even going to do the nice, sexy, non-scuff, anti-scuff matte on the cover too. It's going to look beautiful.
Do it.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. I have for
Let's. I'm gonna kind of start wrapping it up here.
All right.
Let's do just the what do you call it? Machine gun promos. Rini. So it's fiendish.com, right? And there's no active campaigns,
Fiendish.
but people can catch up on everything, right?
Correct. Yeah. Fiendishcomic.com. Fiendish.com leads you to somewhere else. I don't own that
A
domain.
wine.
But
website.
yeah, it's like a wine thing. Yeah, don't go there. Who cares about wine? Not me. Fiendishcomic.com is the landing page or the center of operations for Fiendish. So I have both chapter 1, 2, and 2.5 on the website. Where if you order the books on there now, the fulfillment should be pretty quick because the books are printed already. So RJ is kind of like he's fulfilling 2.5. We're starting fulfillment for that, and he's jumping between that and store orders. So bless him. He handles the fulfillment for me, so I don't have to suffer. Check that out. I also have digital versions of Fiendish up both on the website and on Global Comics. So that's linked to the website. If you click through to the chapters, I have like giant buttons. Read a preview. Read on the website. Read on Global Comics. There's a digital version of chapter 1 out, and chapter 2 will be out later this month. So I'm very proud of it. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And thank you, everybody that supported 2.5. See you this Saturday.
Yeah, nice. And Hype is it's the sign up and launching the making of book.
Yeah, ConnellComic.com. I'm doing a preview book of Connell. I'm taking some of them to Heroes Con. Some of them I'm putting up on a campaign. I'm going to have the Blue Tick X keychains as well. Also, I found that I have some of the Hyper Wizard pins left over. I have like 10 or 20 of those. So I might make a special bundle on the campaign that includes that pin and like a free sketch card in the bundle. But yeah, I might call it the throbbing package. But on the campaign too, I redid the cover, and I actually have the original art of the cover. So like this is the new sexy all in color as well.
Dude, so cool.
Bring up, and it like has this other piece with it, which is like the background thing. So like,
Is
yeah,
that is
yeah,
Nice.
there you go. That's the
Oh my
rat
gosh.
sketch.
Oh, Jake, you should do a maze puzzle with one of those.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's
I'm gonna put this upon the campaign too. But yeah, and another couple of pieces of art that are actually in the book. I'll have those on the campaign if anyone's interested.
Cool. And Vaughn, the man of the hour, of course,
Yes.
it's phenomenal. We've been looking at it this whole time.
Yes.
Everyone who, I want to stress, if you haven't backed it, seriously consider it.
Yeah.
Right now, 31 people watching. I feel like at least some of you maybe haven't backed it. Paulus Arts, I always pick on him deliberately and cyberbully him into sometimes backing. Whatever.
Why?
But he's not even here.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for that. And also make sure to sub to my channel if you haven't already. I got a video essay that I'm dropping soon. I'm almost done with it. And I've just passed 800 subscribers. So
Nice. I want to see that. I'm curious
Nice.
about video. I do a few.
yeah, you know, Narwhal, I'll tell you off air because we're about to get off.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and also I was gonna say, a good form of promotion is begging, but you can't beg, but I'll do it for you. So chat,
Well,
please. I'm begging you on my hands and knees. Please back Phenomenova from my buddy Vaughn. Please, don't you guys know? Please.
good man.
I'm very
Yeah.
confused. He's so sincere. You have to throw money
Yeah,
at
you
this
have to,
campaign
dude.
now. You have
Oh,
no
Alex
And
choice.
said
we'll
at
do
the
that in a
meme.
second. Yeah.
I have it.
Oh, nice.
I got.
Cool.
I'm
I
already-
want let Phil. We'll do the meme last. So Phil,
Sick.
also you're fulfilling soon, right?
We're fulfilling right now. I mean, we've put out a bunch of books. Vaughn got his already. I just sent out Amanda B's yesterday on her
Nice.
birthday. So more books will go out tomorrow morning as well, and then the next day and the next day. So everybody check it out. Vaughn, did you get the ash can as well?
No, I didn't get the ash can. I should have though.
Oh my god! All right. Well,
When
we
am I
got
gonna get mine,
See,
Phil?
Phil shames me. Phil, have you even backed my book?
I thought
I've
you
seen
read
it.
I thought you read the first.
Have you backed my book, Phil?
No. I'm gonna back in the day you don't get a backer.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay. Well, so are
Phil,
you
when are the UK people gonna get our books back?
The last ones.
Oh,
The
motherfucker.
last. Well, we're doing all the U.S. shipping right now, and then the international is after that. They'll be the last ones. So that's your plight for living not in America. But yeah, we're fulfilling right now. And
Just send it to Irene and I'll pick it up.
Why don't we make Jake be the
personal
fulfillment guy
mailbox.
for-
That's,
Here
You are.
I have a quote on the back as well, since Juan loves.
God damn it.
I'll deliver. I'll hold on to for you, Jake.
Actually, I'm like the personal
Look at what
U.S.
you're here,
mailbox
Scott.
for like 3 people at this point.
I bought her some books and they didn't come, so I got a refund from the guy. But then I bought some more, and then the old ones came. So now she has like doubles of.
I have 2 sets of prison school now, so yeah,
Very
I'll send them
lucky.
back. Yes. Look at this. Let's bask upon this. Look the health bar. Look, Jake's is depleted because
Oh,
It's
no.
gouting
he has
down.
gout. That's great.
Gouting down.
It's great. It's a simulation too. Whoops, no, not that. That's so great. What is the corner? I don't understand what's going
Ooh,
on
look
in
at
the
me.
Are
corner.
they like the extra guys? The
That's
lives,
the
or
bread
what?
that Phil eats in the morning.
Oh, is it brown? It looks like a Twinkie.
It looks like a
Yeah.
hash
I don't know what the
brown.
fuck
Yeah,
that
maybe
is.
a hash
It's an
brown.
orange juice guy.
Those are our pickup items.
I could use some orange juice.
Yeah. All right. Let's start from
That's so bad,
Narwhal. I guess there's Vaughn in the corner.
Tweak
What
Vaughn.
the fuck is that?
You have to do fantasy voices though.
A
What? He's
simulation.
more in the simulation. Yeah, he has.
Wow, I'm an NPC. That's messed up.
Yep, just how it is.
You.
But an
a
NPC
simulation-
standing next to alcohol.
A simulation. You atheists vex me.
Shall I go next?
Yeah.
Yes.
I quit gaslighting you because I believed because you fucking LJ can't read because you believed everything I said. Now I need to bring it back. Bring on the gaslighting once more.
I get 2 of them. On, scooch over a little bit.
Yeah.
Or do you guys think we're in a simulation? Pickle juice is good for muscle cramps. It is.
We got Ginger Irene back.
I know. That's I'm having flashbacks. I feel like I should go ginger again. Blah 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 blah. We changed the character's gender. It's my very terrible British accent. Please don't comment on that, Jake.
It wasn't Chinese voice.
Nightmares.
You're
wasn't
doing
Chinese.
better.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was
I'm
actually.
de-Chinesifying my British
You
accent.
sound
Yes,
like
it does sound significantly better
sound like a video game
Yeah,
character.
because it doesn't
This is-
sound Chinese.
It's not
It's because-
completely shit.
Look,
It's
it's
because
Arnold.
she's trying to write Ragnar as a posh British person, so she's trying to learn the lingo.
Go
Aw.
to
Yeah.
But then she uses like a bunch of common British slang words, so she doesn't sound posh at all. And then I'm like, she wouldn't call him a tosser, Irene.
Well, that's why I run it by you, because I don't fucking know how your people
go-
talk. Y'all
yeah, you
fucking
go
weird.
Soft your wank.
She's like, oh bloody hell, you tosser, you toss pot.
I
She didn't
don't
say-
know.
actually- she didn't
I
actually
think
say that.
you're a whole I don't know all the class differentiations.
Isn't
so-
tossing like wanking it?
Yes.
So a toss pot.
So when a tosser is
It's
just a
hard,
way to
though,
call him a wanker.
Because Ragna's supposed to be, she's both educated and intelligent, but she also is kind of rude, so it's complicated. Yeah,
Super rude, yeah.
it's hard. It's very hard.
she'll have perfect dialogue.
Anyways,
Sort off.
you can thank Jake for that.
Thanks, Jake.
Verisimilitude is down in the corner. I just saw too.
Yes.
Verisimilitude.
The word of the
Awesome.
day.
Thank you, Alex. That's awesome. I
Awesome
love the
meme.
stimulation.
The
That actually
back-
is really cool.
So
Look at
cool.
all
Yeah,
the
it's
lines
ye
of
old
the
Matrix. I
Good job, AI.
wanted to bring up the concept of doing a Matrix, but the world that being simulated is medieval.
I love the idea that we have the memes for the show have an ongoing medieval adventure theme. I think is great. My Pathfinder bone is very happy. Yay, adventure!
One day there'll be a really terrible fantasy creator block phone game where you have to build a village and collect resources.
It'll have its own
Guys,
YouTube
I just-
ads.
I just realized the cloud is Thunderclap.
Oh my
On
God.
that
Give it a
note-
clap.
What do you?
Dark
What
Cloud.
Thunderclap is a good name.
Give it a clap.
On that note,
Yeah.
Wait, in the
catch you next
corner.
time.
Just let's give it. I want to give the corner just a little bit more chance to decode. Like, so it's potato. What is a hash brown? It's a sun pointing and Phill. Potato, sun.
Mm.
Well, it's not a sun, it's a smiley face, but it's
That's
angry.
not a sun at all. It's pointing.
Yeah, it looks
Potato,
like that.
orange.
It looks like that face is blaming Phil Diaz.
Yeah.
You know.
Hash brown. Hashtag blame it on Phill Diaz.
Oh, there you go.
Hey!
Oh yes!
Well
Genius.
done, Alex. Good
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
'Cause of
I'm
course,
glad we took a
everything
moment
is Phil's
there.
fault.
Nice job for cracking it, Rini. Got it.
Did
right
it.
I
there.
did it. Yes, I love mystery.
That's been such a good hashtag.
Phil,
That's
if only we
incredible.
didn't have
Oh my
you to
God.
blame everything on, we'd have to self-reflect. So thank you for
Oh.
saving us all from any level of self-reflection.
Yeah.
You.
Yep, yep. You've taken all the blame for all of our sins, as you should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, such
Thank
is
you.
life. Such is life.
When it's only
Nice.
fair.
Someone
Yeah,
needs
cool.
to.
I've been enjoying
point.
this.
With that, we're at a cool 2:55 with 33 people watching. I'm gonna click the button here. Maybe I could give us
All
the
right.
outro. Let's out it with Phil's funeral.
Who's
It was
got next
poignant.
week?
So poignant. Reenie's next week.
Irene.
All right.
I am.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm next, and I will not flake. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you
Hey,
next
guys.
week.
We can talk over this if we want a little bit. But not that I'm gonna.
What if we don't want to though?
What if I want to be a rebel?
It might be
I
about-
want to say.
I don't want to
Words
talk
of
over it.
I just want to hear the epic part of the music.
Well, it's like a fucking whole minute away, so buckle up.
This is gonna ruin my awesome ending time at 2:55.
Yeah, you feel.
Oh no!
No,
4
you
seconds. 3
fucked it
seconds.
up.
Oh no!
No,
Ah! That's fine.
now you need to get it to 269.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we have to just keep looping the outro until it's a number you're happy
Did
with.
you just realize that's not a
Wait,
possible
that's-
time?
yeah, no,
warp?
I'm like, what? I'm like, what? 2, 5, 6, 9 you could do.
Here we go. The
No,
epic
you
part's
can't.
coming up.
You're just loop it forever. You can get it to 69 if you will it.
Here we go. Here we go.
What?
Here we go. Here we go.
It's so tight.
Fuck yeah.
Should play this at the wedding.
I need this on vinyl.
I'm going to church Sunday.
Gay.
You are.
Seeing the light. You're
you
not
better
vexing
check.
me anymore, Phil.
You should wear a big 2-foot tall crucifix around your neck.
You're like we
I
all
think I
did
gotta
church
quit. It's
after
gonna
this
end
week.
any second now. Oh, wait, it's kind of getting epic again.
Goodbye.